Edmonton Sports Talk. My God, I loved it.
My name's Jay Milne. #Blue.
Our sports update deliverer, the Coon.
I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up today.
You know what, Reid?
You might be honest.
All right, here's what's going on in the Nasty Chat. Elks game night facing the Winnipeg Blue Bombers tonight. Elks looking for their first win of the season. Game starts at 6:30. This show, Reid Wilkins with Jason Milne with you until 5:30. Then at 5:30, the Green and Gold kickoff show with Mr. Milne and our good buddy Matthew Iwanyk leading you into the game. They'll be on afterwards as well to break it down. Elks big underdogs in this one. Green and Gold post-game show at the conclusion of the evening. We'll also talk some NHL storylines today, some CBA details, some concerns that I have for the Edmonton Oilers, or should I have them? And where might the World Cup of Hockey land? Could it be right here in little old Edmonton? Also, our Athlete of the Week presented by Pasta Pantry, second edition of the Athlete of the Week for Pasta Pantry. Going to be a good one. That's coming up at around 4:40 this afternoon. How's it going, buddy?
Great. Phenomenal.
Great. And then phenomenal.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
No, it's just been a good day.
You have had a good day. You've been pretty upbeat all day. I've been my usual sour self.
Yeah. You almost tried souring my 200th show hat celebration idea.
Well, I didn't know it was a 200th show. We have somebody in the Nasty Chat, which is our chat on YouTube. And if you are on YouTube, give us a thumbs up. Click that like button. Is it Rob from the Grove that counts every show? Does it still say it in the corner coop somewhere? Show 200.
I lost count at one point. I think I did episode 177 2 days in a row or something like that.
So we just trust Rob from the Grove then. Like Rob from the Grove could have been episode 357, and I would have been like, okay.
Cool.
Well, we do keep track. There's like a playlist system that we have each episode in, but also some of the shows flow into one another, so it's a bit askew, but I do trust Rob.
All right. Well, we should be around 200.
We should be
we're almost done 10 months. So minus weekends and a few days like that, yeah, we'd be around 200. All right, so that's why I'm taking this off, by the way.
Oh, come on.
What? I'm not celebrating I've done a lot of shows, okay? I've done a lot of shows.
We should actually, I bet you Sammy Hagar would way rather us celebrate, show number
200 and...
That would be on brand.
He probably would.
That would be on brand.
That'd be a little more accurate. All right, I'll leave.
These are tight.
I'll leave. Yeah, I'm taking mine off.
I'm taking mine.
Because I think if you're watching on YouTube from afar, they look more like dunce caps. I don't know if you can see the happy birthday on them, and it's not actually
the shoe fits,
our
Reid.
birthdays. Well, true. That's a good point. Tell you what, we got a big tee up for the Edmonton Elks game. We got some players and storylines to watch. We got some Oilers things to consider. I'm sure we'll have a few laughs along the way as well. Matthew Iwanyk's going to hop into studio. I did something special for Matthew today. I hope he refers to it. I made him something special. Well, me with the help of somebody. With the help of something, made him something special. But we'll deal with that a little bit later on. You can get in touch, besides by posting in the Nasty Chat, where really you often wind up speaking more with each other than giving us things that we're going to read on air, though sometimes we do, depending on what comes in. You can also email reid@edmontonsportstalk.com, jay@edmontonsportstalk.com. You can text us. The number to use, 780-218-9999. That is the afternoon inbox presented by River Cree Resort and Casino, home of the kitchen restaurant. All you can eat surf and turf for just $59.99 every Friday. That is from 4 to 10 p.m. Elks at Bombers.
Big game.
It is a big game. I'd like it to be a big win for the Edmonton Elks. Both these teams have already had a bye. So the Elks are 0-2. They've been outscored 69-42 in their two games. So scoring 21 points per game, giving up almost 35 per game. Winnipeg has played twice. BC both times. Odd schedule for them. They had a bye week. They had a home-and-home with the Lions. And they don't play the Lions again this season. 61 points per game. They've only allowed 34 points against. Now, the Lions didn't have Rourke, all that stuff, but Winnipeg was pretty good. And to be fair, Winnipeg didn't have Kolaros for the first game, right? It was Strevler, who's a very good backup. Where did he go, to the Cardinals for a couple of years?
Yeah, I believe so.
And he was the guy that was shirtless in one of their Grey Cup parades.
That's right.
I think. So anyway, this is a tough. What's the line here? It's like 13.5, 10.5. It's quite large, is it not?
It was 9.5.
Oh, 9.5. Sorry.
When I got it. Let's see if it's moved though. Currently sitting at 10.5.
So the Bombers are favored by 10.5 points. Probably. Well, I mean, the Bombers should be heavily favored, should they not? Given what you've seen so far this season?
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay. So I have my concerns for the Elks. I know it's a long season. And I know they've played, I ran into somebody yesterday who's a big Elks fan, and I talked to him briefly, and he said they've played the two best teams in the league. And perhaps you can argue they're playing now the third team that would form the top three.
Yep.
Fair enough. They weren't overly close in their first two games. I guess maybe the first half in BC, they did have the lead. So I wanted to discuss with you, Jay, and I know you'll have extensive discussion with Matthew as well on the Green and Gold Kickoff show a little bit later on. People to watch tonight. And I'm going to give you one from each team. And there's a reason I'm saying people to watch, which I will reveal. And did you come up with a couple as well?
I came up with a couple Elks.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go one for each team.
Okay.
Just for fun.
Sure.
Because, you and I, when we started this show in September, we talked a lot about the U of A football team. We talked a lot about the U of A football team perhaps being a national championship contending team. Turned out they were not. They ran into some injuries. They had some tough losses. But one of the players, grads of the Golden Bears football program, Matthew Peterson, he will be the number one back for the Bombers tonight. He's stepping right in with the injury to Oliveira.
Yep.
So you got to watch him. Now, from an Edmonton standpoint, I'm hoping that the Elks can shut him down, but that's a guy to watch. I mean, that's pretty cool. You got a Golden Bear, former Golden Bear, who's a rookie in the CFL. That is going to be the number one running back for the Blue Bombers tonight. And he had a good debut, I guess, a couple of weeks ago when he came in and played. So he's a player to watch, a person to watch. The other person for me to watch. Now, I know, I bet you most people are thinking Reid's going to say Tre Ford, because Tre Ford gets talked about so much, and Reid's been sort of critical of Tre the first 2 weeks, and why isn't he a little better, and what's going on, and all this kind of stuff. But he's not going to be my person to watch. My person to watch actually might not be on camera tonight, or maybe we'll be shown once just briefly. Maybe we'll be referred to. Maybe not at all. I would imagine the play-by-play guy tonight, who's very, very good on TSN, is going to refer to him. But this person is the Elks offensive coordinator, Jordan Maksimic.
Yeah.
The Elks offense did very little to impress me in the first two games or make me feel like they've taken a step forward from the last few years. Now, I know it's now Tre has the job as opposed to coming in. I know Maksimic, he's now, I mean, he was the QB coach with the Elks years ago, right? But now he's the Elks offensive coordinator, and they didn't move the ball, quite frank. I mean, I know they got to 28 points against Montreal. A lot of those points were when Montreal was way ahead and sort of had the game under control. There wasn't a lot in the first half of in the first three quarters of the Montreal game where the Elks were driving the ball.
How'd they get those points?
They threw and they pushed it down the field. Okay, so this is what, and I want to ask you this because you played U Sports, like you played the second highest possible level of football in the country.
I guess
basically
so, yeah.
After the CFL. And you were an all-star player, led the Golden Bears program in career interceptions, I believe. I have, I think kind of a layman's knowledge of football. I like watching it. I understand some basic stuff. I don't know the little intricacies of everything that's going on. But I feel like when I've seen the Elks come out for the first two games, I feel as if Maksimic has called highly completable passes for Ford. As if they're trying to, let's get them going. Let's give them a little 3-yarder to buzz the ball to somebody and get them going with some completions.
Yep.
And run the ball.
Yep.
And I get that. I mean, let's face it, a lot of plays in football are routine, right? I mean,
Timing. Yep.
Let's get it going. Let's move the ball down the field. But we saw Tre Ford roll to his right and hit a long pass against Montreal when the game was sort of still in question. And then we saw him hit a couple other of deep throws when, granted, perhaps Montreal was playing more of a passive defense, but still, there were some shots there. So I'm wondering here if there's an approach to the play calling that has to be different from the first 2 weeks. And look, I know that's such a fan thing to fall back on. What I'm saying, just chuck it deep. I'm not saying that doing that every play, but I'm saying mix that in there. And I'm not saying, okay, Ford's a running quarterback, so roll him out on every play and have this crazy frenetic offense. But I'm saying mix that in with the other stuff to really have the Bombers defense thinking, okay, where's he going to be on this play? Now, it still is incumbent upon Ford to execute and to be under control and to have steady feet and to put the ball in a spot where the receiver can catch it. I'm not letting Ford or the offensive line or the receivers or anybody off the hook, but it is the job of the offensive coordinator to get the most out of what he has. And is there a sport, more than football, where some devious play calling can help a team that appears to be outmanned move the ball or play to their strengths? That was a very long-winded question. I don't even know what the ultimate question was.
Well, to answer what I think is the question, yes, they do need to push the ball down the field. They do need to make a concerted effort to attack the middle of the field and in their passing game. Tango in the Nasty Chat says the Elks need to establish a running game, which they had trouble doing in the first 2 games. They established it last game. They ran the ball. They committed to running the ball. I think that's a hurdle. Now McSimic can say, yeah, we're going to run the ball and we can do it. Pushing the ball down the field, though, and what you spoke of earlier about easing Tre into it, give him a couple, quick hitters. That's problematic to me. If you as an offensive play caller have to ease your starting quarterback into a game, or let's get him a couple quick completions. That's what you do when you have a quarterback that is not playing up to the standard, right? Mix in a couple screen passes, short passes. That doesn't signal confidence from Jordan McSimic to Tre Ford, at least in my opinion. Now, that being said, the first drive of the game, maybe the first 2 drives, heck, could even be are scripted plays. These are plays that have been injected and put into the game plan that they're not deviating from. You will get that question answered relatively quick tonight, Reid. If they are going to make more of a commitment to push the ball downfield. Because, I understand. Throw the deep ball. Well, and Tre does throw a good deep ball. If he's set up properly, he can throw a deep ball on the run. Like we saw that nice completion you alluded to Stephen Dunbar Jr. If they come out early and take a shot, heck, have you ever heard of a dig route? That's about a 15-yard in across the middle. Did you see any of those in the first 2 games? You hardly saw any passing in between the numbers. Everything was out. That's too easy. That's too simple. You need to keep the defense on their toes. Take a shot. Why not? It doesn't have to be a 45-yard strike down the sideline. It can be a 20-yard dig route into the center of the field where there's an open spot. They need to get more creative with this offense, especially in the passing game. The running game's going to work. They have the right guys in the backfield. Justin Rankin's a beast. The running game's going to work. The challenge tonight, and Winnipeg's defense is good.
Well, you're right. And we saw what happened to Ford last year when we had our EST watch party at Century Casino.
Yeah. Not very good.
It was a wipeout.
Right. So this is a big game for Tre Ford. If Tre Ford comes out and lays an egg tonight, the questions are going to be asked. When is Cody Fajardo getting into the line?
They have to be. They would have to be asked.
But we know, as well as our very educated listeners know, this is a tough start to the schedule for this team. If they can compete with Winnipeg tonight and do the things we just talked about, push the ball downfield, take some deep shots, heck, you might get a pass interference.
Yep.
they have a chance at, look, it's a CFL, Reid. Week to week, any team has a chance at winning. It comes down to who executes the game plan best. So I think, to answer your question, I think we'll find out early if that is in the cards for the Elks tonight, to push the ball downfield, to attack the center of the field. You'll know early.
All right, who are your people to watch?
Well, Devondrick Bynum on defense.
Okay.
He got torched twice last game for deep plays that cost this team. This defense is good. They have talented players. The mistakes they're making right now are all mental mistakes. And you just can't have that. So I really want to see a bounce back game from him. And Mark Evans II, starting at left guard. They had to shuffle around the offensive line because center David Beard is out. So they moved Mark Cordy into center. He's played that. That's fine. Not concerned there. Mark Evans II needs to stand in there and help them establish the run game. So that's another player I'm going to watch.
I like what you said about attacking the middle of the field. I've often, and look, you know, and you and I hang out a lot, obviously in the bullpen, and just we'll talk about
that's
sports
what best
or whatever.
friends do.
That's what close.
That's what best friends do.
That's what warm colleagues do.
Yeah.
So, and again, like I'm not always. I don't know what every pass pattern is or what every blocking scheme is, but when I watch the CFL, and I've had this is how I've observed it for years. In the passing game, can you complete passes where if your receiver gets immediately tackled, it's a first down? I know yak is important, and I know short passes are important, but you know the good teams, the quarterback can zing it in there 12 yards, first down. And I know sometimes you're going to do different things and dump it off and run screens, the plays that are designed to get the yards after the catch, but sometimes you just need your receiver to know where the sticks are, stand there, quarterback puts it in his belly, he falls down or gets hit, and it's a first down. And this Elks offense does not
Have you seen
do
that?
No.
You haven't seen that once, Reid.
No. Not
once.
at all. So that's hard to do, but that's how you become a good team. You got to start like I call it like the medium pass, the 8 to 15 yard pass.
Yeah, that's the meat and potatoes of a passing game.
And it's, you know, what a lot of, and this I used to get so bothered when Danny Machocha would say this. I know this is 20 years ago. Well, we're going to take what the defense gives us. Well, defenses just kept giving the Eskimos at that time 3 yards. And Danny kept calling plays where their quarterback could complete a 2-yard pass.
Yeah. And
so you got to find a way to get the yards you aren't being given.
Yes, you have to find the way. That is in their playbook. They have that. They have plenty of those options in the playbook. It's just a matter of if they have the comfort in the quarterback to get the job into those windows. Because that's a window shot. When you're going into the center of the field and you're 12-yard completion, boom, linebacker was just a tad too late but made the tackle.
Right.
That's into a tight window. So do they trust Tre Ford to be able to put it in that window from within the pocket, from inside the pocket? That's the question.
Okay, 780-218-9999 is how you can text us, the River Crib Resort and Casino inbox. So the Elks in Winnipeg, and it is the wonderful city of Winnipeg that is the inspiration for our off-topic topic presented by William Huff. Since 1952, William Huff has provided industry-leading advertising solutions for thousands of valued clients. Their unparalleled customer service combined with decades of industry expertise and a desire to make every job the very best it can be is what they call the William Huff Advantage. Visit their website at williamhuff.com. Give them a shout, 780-454-4536. So, by the way, William Huff, like the stuff they've done in this office, incredible. I mean, we're leaving this office soon. I guess almost 2 years ago. I know you and I weren't here for the whole time, but part of the reason it's looked so cool, and when people come in here, they're so impressed, that's because of William Huff.
Yes.
I mean, we got this great backdrop here in the banquet studio, so incredible stuff. So here's our off-topic topic. Give us some fun facts about Winnipeg. Wrong answers only.
Boy, I'm going to have to think about this.
Fun facts about Winnipeg. Wrong answers only.
I was looking at actual fun facts about Winnipeg. Real ones?
Real ones.
Did you know it's known for being the birthplace of pizza pops?
I did not know that.
That could fall into wrong answer. Yeah, sure, Jay.
But it's actually true.
That's what that says, yeah. Have you been to Winnipeg?
Yes.
What were your
couple
thoughts?
Times. Well, last time, it's been a while since I was there. I was there for a weekend for a wedding. I think I was still working in Lloydminster. It was hot. I think it was in June or July. but there were a lot of mosquitoes, like a serious amount of mosquitoes. Yeah.
Yeah, I like Winnipeg.
You've played there, obviously. You must have gone and played there a couple of times.
Yeah, I've been there with the Bears, with the Wildcats as well.
I like Winnipeg. Here's why I like Winnipeg. It's got the WHA connection, right? The Jets and the Oilers came over from the WHA. And I feel as if it's another Canadian city that a lot of people just dump on without really knowing anything about it.
That's right.
Which,
it's easy.
I mean, I get that it's fun to some extent, but I think some of it, gets a little carried away or is just downright ignorant. But we're asking you to be intentionally ignorant today. Fun facts about Winnipeg, wrong answers only. Especially people from Winnipeg. We would like to hear this. Or maybe the people from Winnipeg could quiz us. Is this a fun fact or
is this real or
is this real or not?
Yeah. That'd be good.
Yeah. So that is our off-topic topic. Fun facts about Winnipeg, wrong answers or quiz us only.
Fun fact about Winnipeg, wrong answers only. Winnipeg is also affectionately known as the canola capital of Canada. Produces the most...
That's not true.
No, it's wrong answers only.
Oh, okay. Well, the first one you gave was a right answer. What is the canola capital of Canada? Is it somewhere in Saskatchewan?
I don't know. I don't know. Where would be... Let's see if... Canola capital of Canada.
Has there been one?
Saskatchewan is widely considered the canola capital of Canada.
Yeah, there's a lot of canola in Saskatchewan. Lloydminster had it. I assume they still do. There was a canola plant there. Sometimes especially in the spring, the city would get a very strong scent of canola wafting through the air. Anyway. All right, that is our off-topic topic. If you are taking us in on YouTube today, thank you. We have our chat going there. That's the Nasty Chat. Give us a thumbs up as well. Little shorter show today, so don't delay. Get in there. And I know what people want, Jay. I don't know why I still forget after all these months.
Click, click, click. Must you click? Please, please click. Must you click? You must click. Thumb, thumb, thumb.
All right, give us a thumbs up on YouTube. You also may be taking us in using an audio streaming app such as iHeartRadio or TuneIn Radio. We thank you for doing that. And EdmontonSportsTalk.com is our website. At YEG Sports Talk is how you follow on Twitter or X or whatever they call it now. And if you're taking us in the future on a podcast, we thank you as well. Favorite whatever show. We'll favorite all our shows. Sign up for the podcast. You won't miss a thing here on EST. Did you have a good one come in since you were chuckling?
Yeah, box number says Winnipeg has off-leash parks for polar bears.
That's a good one.
This has come in a couple times that they have an airport.
Okay, so that whole story, I believe the people, or maybe even the person who started that, he goes by Bagged Milk, the guy at Oilers Nation, who I know his real name. I'm buddies with him. I will not disclose his real name. Really good guy. We get along quite well. And I think that when the Oilers went to, where did they start the season? In Germany. Then they came back and played, I think, the Rangers and Boston. And then there was a break. So they actually flew back to Edmonton and then went to Winnipeg. But as a joke, the Oilers Nation guys, or Bagged Milk, said Winnipeg doesn't have an airport. So they flew to Fargo and bussed from Fargo, North Dakota to Winnipeg. And I love this guy, so I hate to bring this up, but Adam Cook on CTV did a story tracking the Oilers' air miles, and the map included them going to Fargo. And so, I don't know how he got, but it became like a thing that it reported over and over again that Winnipeg didn't have an airport. So
I had no idea.
I don't know if Adam thought that maybe the Winnipeg airport was closed or under renovation, but they do the map like Indiana Jones style with the red line. Okay, they were in Germany and then they were here. He included them going from Edmonton to Fargo. So that's where that came from.
Aha. Okay.
That's where that came from. Eric L says Winnipeg has the best naval base in Canada. Well, yeah, you just either ocean, just pick one. Just put the subs out on the ocean. All right. 780-218-9999. River Crew Resort Casino inbox. We're going to have Jay's play of the day. We're going to have the oil understood for GCL Diesel. Here's the code.
The Elks and Bombers kick off Week 4 CFL action. Edmonton 0-2, having Winnipeg undefeated through 2 games on the season. Catch the Green and Gold kickoff show, Matt Iwanyk, Jamon, and break down the game live at 5:30 only on EST. NFL News sees 35-year-old veteran kicker Justin Tucker being suspended for 10 games for violating the league's personal conduct policy. Tucker spent the past 13 years with the Ravens, being a free agent this season. And to the NHL, the Wild and Blue Jackets agreed to a trade. Columbus shipping Cameron Butler to Minnesota in exchange for Brendan Gaunce. Another trade had the Panthers move a 5th-rounder to the Jackets for 26-year-old Daniel Tarasov. There's 2 games in baseball, live in baseball. Dodgers up 3-1 over the Rockies in the 9th, while the Marlins hold the Giants 8-5 in the 5th. For the Riverhawks, they have their series closer in Victoria battling the Harbor Cats. First pitch at 7:35. This sports update is brought to you by Find Edmonton. Find takes your unused furniture and home goods to help those moving out of homelessness. Get donations picked up or drop them off free of charge. Visit findedmonton.com or call them at 780-988-1717. The discussion continues on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
2 guys and a
One
goalie.
that stood out for me as well is, I'll just say, this pisses me off. Establishment of a full-time emergency backup goalie, or EBUG, position within organizations. And the reason it ticks me off is because I love the story. I love the story of the Golden Bear player coming up with the green and gold pads on and the green and gold helmet sitting on the bench.
2 guys and a goalie, presented by GS Construction. Tuesday and Thursday afternoons at noon, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Friday's just got a whole lot more fun. Spin the wheel at the banquet for your shot to win big and save on your bill. Spin, win, save. It's that easy. Details at thebanquetbar.com. The Banquet. Get real. Play hard.
GCL Diesel has been serving oil country since 1972. From diesel cars to SUVs to pickups. From farm tractors to school buses to a big rig. From diesel generators to forklifts, GCL can test, troubleshoot, and repair all diesel fuel system components. Whether it's injectors, pumps, turbos, filters, or additive, GCL has the parts you need to keep your diesel running the way it should. For genuine diesel parts at wholesale prices, visit GCL Diesel in the West End or online at GCLDiesel.com. GCL Diesel. Diesel understood.
Summer in Edmonton means 3 things: warm weather, long nights, and plenty of sports. From the lake to the links, you can boost your summer fun with hundreds of casino games, live betting on your favorite sports teams, and access to popular lotteries. All in one app, anywhere in the province. Download the Play Alberta app today and deposit $20 or more with promo code YAG50 to claim a $50 free bet. That's promo code YAG50 for a $50 free bet on us. Redeemable once per Play Alberta account. Remember, if you gamble, please use your game sense.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
Here's to the beautiful lakes and stunning landscapes Canada has to offer. And for the kayak, camping gear, and summer toys you used to enjoy them? Need extra space? Sentinel Storage. Try 4 weeks free. Visit sentinelstorage.ca. Happy Canada Day.
Thanks a lot for joining us this afternoon. Elks at Blue Bombers tonight, 6:30 game. We will have pregame coverage, our Green and Gold kickoff show at 5:30 with Jason Milne and Matthew Iwanyk. Sorry, Jasmine is distracting me in the nasty chat. So, fun facts about Winnipeg is our off-topic topic for William Huff. Mex Bezzoso. Is it DJ Khaled?
Yes.
DJ Khaled? DJ Khaled's All I Do Is Win was about his annual vacation to Winnipeg. Because we were saying fun facts about Winnipeg.
Wrong answers
only. Tango says Dumb and Dumber was actually based on a true story about two friends from Winnipeg. Those are very good. Glenn put in a real fact, birthplace of Winnie the Pooh. We've talked about that before.
Mm-hmm.
Jasmine writes, not a joke, but I heard the cost of living, especially housing prices, are very expensive. She reminds me of Debbie Downer from Saturday Night Live. Like we're all at Disneyland, and she's just like, hey, guys, really worried about my cat. Feline AIDS is on the climb again. Thanks, Jasmine. Thanks, Jasmine. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else? What else can you warn me about, Jasmine? I had a cookie earlier. Yeah. Better watch out for diabetes.
Well, it is tornado season.
Yeah. Yeah, Jasmine's going to be like, well, the stadium in Winnipeg was evacuated in 1952. Hope that doesn't happen tonight.
Do you know all the days are now getting shorter? It's pretty much winter.
Oh, Jasmine.
Smith TM14 says Winnipeg is the dandruff capital of Canada.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Bones said a dog finished second in a mayoral race in 1928.
That might be true, actually. That might be true.
And he says Winnipeg, it was the last city in Canada to adopt the metric system, staying imperial until 1997.
Those are good. People are funny. That's what we like when we get people to laugh with us.
Josh says, fun fact about Winnipeg. The Assiniboine River is home to a rare species of aquatic moose that sings show tunes during full moons.
Oh, that's good. That is very good. The Wikipedia page for mayoral elections in Winnipeg only goes back to 1952. What a joke. Fun fact about Winnipeg. No record of their history prior to World War II.
Winnipeg's Red River this is from Spency 5 Centsy. Winnipeg's Red River is called that because of all the red velvet cake Americans eat and poop into the river.
Oh. Wow. That's quite specific. I feel like he was waiting to use that.
Yeah, this is my chance, honey.
Here's my chance. Honey. The red velvet poop joke. Turn on the TV. Finally. Oh, my goodness. Okay. You ready for your play of the day, my young friend?
You know it.
It's Jay. It's play. He's Jay. It's today. It's Jay's play of the day. It's Jay's play of the day. Jay's play of the day
is presented by Play Alberta, your home for online gaming excitement, featuring casino games, live dealer action, lottery, instants, and sports betting. Now with the new Play Alberta app, you can take the fun with you anywhere. Download the app or sign up today at playalberta.ca. What do you need? This one?
Yeah, sure. Okay, so what we talked about right off the top of the show, Reid, this team pushing the ball downfield. They need to get that part of the game going.
Yes.
And I think they can do it. They might have to get creative in moving Tre around, but Tre also has the ability to escape the pocket with his legs and, complete some broken plays, right? This is more of my wish for tonight.
Okay.
And the odds would reflect it, I guess. But I think Tre Ford needs to show that he can throw the ball downfield and push it downfield. Jay's play of the day today is Tre Ford over 1.5 passing touchdowns. So if Tre Ford throws 2 or more touchdowns, this is a winner. Odds are good. It was boosted to plus 182. I'm riding this one.
I hope so. I hope to see it.
Be great. So there it is. Jay's play of the day. Tre Ford over 1.5 passing TDs. You can see that over at playalberta.ca. Click on the EST specials. Cash last night, minus 440. 3 Duke players in the top 10.
And the third guy went 10th.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a sweat.
It was dramatic. What did they go, 1st, 4th, and 10th?
That's correct.
And they expected that there was going to be 2 in the top 5.
Yes.
But what weren't most people saying that the third guy would go 8th?
8th. Yep.
He didn't. Because he has a lot of height.
And then you thought, well, he's going to go 9th. Didn't.
Did not.
But 10th he did.
So it was down to the wire, but it hit. Okay, so I'm on playalberta.ca. I have clicked sports. Now I'm clicking EST specials. Jay's play of the day. Oh, I'll put a little bit on this. What's stopping me?
What's stopping you?
Oh, my $0 in my account. No, that's not. I have a little bit more than zero. Not much.
And look, the new codes will be coming out next week for Play Alberta. So if you haven't yet, get a $50 free sports bet by depositing $20 and using the code EST Sports. And there's also the YEG 50. If you haven't used that, that's $5 or more. Enter promo code YEG 50 and you get an EST exclusive $50 free bet.
Yeah, great. There's great deals on there. Great deals for
Absolutely.
sure. All right. Okay, I got a question for you.
Fire away, Reid.
We're going to get
it's
into
a talk show.
Thank God I came with some talking points. You know what? I'm just going to have somebody bring me my notes.
I think I hear him coming now.
So
you kind of sound like that guy from Family Guy. Who is he? The grandpa?
I think I hear him coming now.
I don't know. It's the head of Augusta
creepy
National.
grandpa?
Well, thanks. Thanks, Jay.
Herbert the pervert.
Doesn't he have a whistle in his voice?
Sure does, Reid.
Well, that's not how I sound. Okay.
Well, maybe you're a younger version of Herbert the pervert.
Oh, thanks. That's great. That's really nice. And we're going to, the afternoon debate's coming up for Edmonton Garrison Memorial Golf and Curling Club, and I'm going to get into some potential concerns for the Edmonton Oilers. NHL draft is tomorrow, by the way, and Saturday. If you're game planning for the Edmonton Elks,
yeah.
If you're the defensive coordinator, are you scared of Tre Ford? Or are you just telling your defense, whatever, he'll have one 30-yard run. Hit the blanket button and move on, and we're fine after that.
If I'm Winnipeg's defensive coordinator, I am not pressuring the Elks. The blitz packages would be thrown out the window. Just play base defense. Make him try beat you. Because as of right now, he hasn't proven he can. Maybe the odd blitz, but that's when you can see Tre break out of the pocket and make those explosive plays or those big plays is when he beats a blitz.
Right.
So don't do it. You don't have to, I don't think. I think that defense is good enough to beat them in a base package. That's what I do.
Well, and that's the thing. I mean, the good quarterbacks will shred that stuff. And that's what Ford has proven that he's not able to do yet. Hopefully he can. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
All right. 780-218-9999 River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. Jay and I and the Coob coming to you from the Banquet Studio. Craving a late night snack? Check out the Banquet's new late night happy hour menu, Sunday to Thursday, 9 p.m. until close. Enjoy favorites like sweet and spicy lettuce wraps or the Banquet Burger at happy hour prices. The Banquet. Get real. Play hard. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We got a timeout. We got the Coob with the sports update. We have the afternoon debate centered on, well, one of my concerns is the health of a very important member of the Edmonton Oilers, maybe even two of them once we get going. We'll have buying or selling. We're going to look at an extended NHL season, just what everybody wants.
Yeah.
We might even touch on, I want to touch on the dress code, and I want to know if you had one when you played for the Golden Bears.
Okay.
Too.
Yeah.
But first, our good buddy, the Coop.
CFL Week 4 action opens up as Edmonton visits Winnipeg. EST's very own Dustin Nielsen is on the call. Join Matt Iwanyk, Jay Milne as they preview the game during the Green and Gold kickoff show at 5:30 right here on EST. In NFL news, former Ravens kicker Justin Tucker has been suspended for 10 weeks by the league for violating the league's personal conduct policy. The 35-year-old is a free agent playing the last 13 seasons in Baltimore. While in the NHL Sportsnet's Elliot Friedman has reported that unrestricted free agent Nikolai Ehlers of the Jets has informed Winnipeg that he will hit free agency. And the Blue Jackets have acquired Brendan Gaunce from the Wild in exchange for Cameron Butler. Columbus making another trade, sending Daniel Tarasov to Florida in exchange for a 5th rounder in tomorrow's draft. Right now in baseball, 3 games are live, including the Marlins up 8-5 over the Giants in the bottom of the 6th. Mariners and Twins just getting underway in the top of the 1st. And on the road, the Riverhawks battle the Harbor Cats. Edmonton losing 6-4 last night. First pitch goes just after 7:30. This sports update is brought to you by Clover Bar Feeds. Clover Bar Feeds has all the animal feed you'll need. Get top-notch service and selection from their family-owned business. Visit Clover Bar Feeds at 200 Portage Close in Sherwood Park or give them a call at 780-467-5014. The afternoon debate for the Edmonton Garrison Golf, Memorial, and Curling Club is up next. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
The oil stream.
Explain to me how the fiddlestick was Rantanen ever going to fit in the cap. Yes, they were willing to give the contract that Rantanen wanted. They contacted Carolina. Carolina's like, you don't have what we want. Yeah. It was dead on arrival. If you think talking to the player and saying, we'll give you the contract you want is a big push, then okay, fine. But the fact that you call the team that owns that player's rights and is willing to trade him says, thanks, but no.
You have nothing we want.
You went nowhere. Yeah.
The Oil Stream, presented by Boston Pizza. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday afternoons at noon. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Gallo LLP is an Alberta-based accounting firm with expert chartered professional accountants in both our Edmonton and Sherwood Park accounting firms. Our experienced and innovative accountants provide financial advice that saves our clients money. Simply put, we help our clients protect their assets and grow their businesses. At Gallo LLP, they go beyond the numbers to ensure the continued success of your business. Reach out to Preet or John to discuss how they can help your business grow. Visit gallollp.ca today and see how they can help you take your business to the next level.
Do you have pets? Horses? Chickens? Did the place you used to get your feed recently close down? Have no fear. Clover Bar Feeds is here. Whether it's dogs, cats, horses, or chickens, Clover Bar Feeds has you covered. Offering a large variety of food and feed, you can trust the experts at Clover Bar Feeds. They've been family owned and operated for over 60 years. This means you can expect nothing less than top-notch service and selection. Come visit them at 200 Portage Close in Sherwood Park or visit them online at cloverbarfeeds.com.
Everyone knows when you need a truck now, you call Dawn.
That's right. You call us, Frontier Cartage, when you need driver coverage or have a truck that's down.
You call Dawn from Frontier Cartage.
When you've got way more freight to move than you thought.
You call Dawn from Frontier Cartage.
When you need a truck that's available and ready to start anytime you need.
You call Dawn at Frontier Cartage, 587-222-5826. 587-222-5826.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know.
Must you click? Click. Thumb. Must you click? Thumb.
There's Zach's Thumb Click remix. If you are taking us in on YouTube today. Now, first of all, if you haven't already subscribed to the Edmonton Sports Talk channel on YouTube, please do so. We're approaching 13,000 subscribers, so that'll be another milestone for us. And then every show, we reset the thumbs, try to get as many likes as possible, build the algorithm. So, yeah, we like seeing the thumb total go up, but it helps us build the show and bring in people like you who enjoy listening to Edmonton Sports Talk. So, Elks game tonight, 5:30, Green and Gold kickoff show with my buddy Jason Milne and my colleague Matthew Iwanyk. And then they're on after the game as well. I'll be going to watch with my parents tonight, see if the Elks can... when was the last time what's the losing streak against Winnipeg? Is it in the teens? I meant to look this up and I forgot. I'll do it right now thanks to SHRP Sports. Have you been using that website?
No.
It's pretty good. Let me look at it right here. Winnipeg Blue Bombers, where are they? All right, so we got... Oh, my. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. The last time the Green and Gold beat Winnipeg, November 3rd, 2018, a win in Edmonton by the score of 33-24. Last year, they played back-to-back in September, Winnipeg winning 27-14 at Commonwealth and 55-27 at home. That was the watch. Wasn't it 28-0 like 10 minutes into the game?
It was gross.
It was bad.
It was gross.
It was bad. The 27-14 game was the one that was tied or within a few points. Wasn't it early in the fourth and Tre got picked off on an ill-advised throw over the middle?
Yeah.
And then Winnipeg took control of the game. There's been some lopsided ones here. 45-25, 28-14, 48-11, 30-3. That was back in 2021. Well, Winnipeg's the club in the class of the West for 5 years in a row, and the Elks have been out of the playoffs or not that great. So anyway, there's a lot of storylines going into that game. Let's get to the afternoon debate. Presented by Edmonton Garrison Memorial Golf Club. Fall in for flavor and fairways. Edmonton Garrison Memorial Golf Club open to the public with Twilight golf specials that go easy on your wallet, and they have wings so good they should be on parade. Hit the course, crush some wings, and soak in the sunset. Visit egmgolf.com to book your round today. Wings so good they should be on parade. Imagine a parade of chicken wings.
Oh,
it's like a dream come true.
And here comes the hot marching band.
That's pretty good.
That would be so good. I love chicken wings. Hey, when are we going to go golfing there?
Hopefully soon. Well, not next week because you're gone.
Yeah, so we should plan it for the following week. But we have
we have our own tournament. Yeah, we'll have to go after July 8th at some point.
Yeah.
Our tournament's going to be fun. So we don't have a show that day?
No,
the station's going
dark.
So there's a partial morning show.
6 to 8.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then we get out there and golf. That's pretty amazing to work at a place where you can just say, hey, we need to have a golf tournament for our listeners and for people who want to play. So we're just not going to do our shows. That's pretty good.
I can't wait for that.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Have
you golfed at all this year?
I was in it last year.
I was not.
You were not.
We did
right?
the Damon Bunting one for Robin Hood, right?
That's right.
Which that was before the show even started. That was like the last week of August.
Yeah. Have I have not golfed yet. I will not golf until probably the golf tournament.
I say unlikely I'm going to golf next week unless I do something on the weekend, which, hey, people ain't lined up to golf with old Wilkie.
Oh, yeah. You, they would. They would if the offer was there.
Well, no, I mean outside of the tournament.
Right.
Like people aren't calling me to golf with them.
Oh, yeah. Sure they would.
Well, that's kind of you to say.
I'd golf with you, so that says a lot.
Well, yeah, we'll go golfing together. Are you any good?
I'm like mid-80s to mid-90s. That's what I would shoot.
Well, that's very good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care enough about the game of golf. See, as I've gotten older and as my family's grown, I feel it's very selfish of me to take a Saturday or a Sunday and give it all away to the game of golf.
Yeah,
as opposed to spending time with my family.
Because it is a luxury. And we've talked about this, that when I golfed more in recent years, I was often teeing off before 7 a.m. almost all the time.
You have to.
Right, on a weekday.
On a weekday.
So you're
any
out
day,
there.
Even a weekend.
Well, true.
If you
it's
start
nice to play early.
The worst is you start at 1 o'clock on a Saturday.
Yeah.
You're not getting home till 8. Like it just jams up. It's so slow.
And that can be the frustrating thing about the game.
It's not like I crave the game of golf. It's not like I want to get better. I couldn't care less.
I was kind of like that for a while, and then I did get a little bit better, so that was nice.
Yeah.
Wonder if Jasmine's going to golf.
I broke 80 once. That's good enough.
That's
for me.
I have not broke 80. That's pretty good. I have shot an 81. That's the closest I came. What did you shoot? Like a 74?
77.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's usually I've never shot below 85. And then you shoot a 78,
right.
And then you're back to shooting 85 and 0.
Yes.
Like your best score is often 3 or 4 strokes better than your previous best score. It doesn't come down to like, oh, it's a dramatic putt on 18. It's usually like, geez, I can triple bogey and still may have my best score ever.
It was surreal. I'll never forget that day.
All right, the afternoon debate for Edmonton Garrison Memorial Golf Club. So I'm just going to bring up a few things. And the spirit of this is, I feel part of...
This is the Debbie Downer segment.
This is the Debbie Downer segment, and I think I maybe need people to lift me up or tell me, Reid, what are you doing? Because I do feel part of my on-air persona over the years, first at Ched and now here, is maybe to try to calm people down sometimes. And I know I get some of that feedback after games when I go on with Tom sometimes, and certainly I would get this with Rob Brown. Well, you guys calm me down. Or, hey, I'm still upset they lost, but, Reid came on and he was fairly measured, or he explained why something happened, and I still didn't like that it happened. But now maybe I need that from the audience. It's time for you to help me.
To lift you up.
It's time to give back to old Wilkie. It's time to make you now can be the wind beneath my wings. So I have, I don't know how many we'll get to here, 2 or 3 possible concerns for the Oilers. And I'm going to go maybe to places that aren't being talked about a lot.
Sure.
Because, of course, what are we talking about? Well, the Frederick contract and Bouchard's contract, and who's going to play with Leon, and who's going to be the goalie. So these are maybe sub-headlines, or footnotes, but these are things that percolate in my brain, and that I think maybe we should be talking about this a little more. Like, maybe this should be a concern. And the first one I brought up a little bit on the morning show. So we have this show that's on 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. It's called The Nielsen Show. So today it was with Lieutenant Eric and Will Fraser. And, we're going into the draft. We're going into free agency. There are going to be trades. The Oilers already made one yesterday with the Evander Kane deal to Vancouver. And Stan Bowman said when the season ended that the defense will probably have the least change. Like he said, I think we got a pretty good defense. I think that's solid there. Probably more change at forward and maybe at goaltender. So my concern would be, and again, I want feedback from people. If people, I want you to tell me, like, whoa, Reid, you're you don't need to hike up your worry pants that high. Okay. I can't help but wonder about the health and age of Matthias Ekholm.
Ooh.
Now, look, he has been exactly what the Oilers needed for about 2 1/3 years or whenever he came over. He was hurt for a big portion of this year, missed a lot of the playoffs. I think was clearly still limited by what's been reported as a groin injury, right? In the playoffs and in the Stanley Cup final. But I still think even a banged up Ekholm was pretty good. He quickly became a very popular player because he's good at his job. He can play defense. He can help with the offense. He's well spoken. I think he's one of those players that just sort of inspires confidence in the fan base. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
I mean, we've talked about him. I kind of look at him as kind of the dad of the team.
Sure.
That if I know there's captains and other older players and other guys who are leaders, but I kind of feel that if he's that one guy, maybe you had a tough period, like maybe you had to block a couple shots and maybe you got a stick to the face and it wasn't called, but you gutted it out. And I feel like if you were in the dressing room between periods and Ekholm just looked over to you and gave you a little nod, you'd be like, okay,
we got this.
I'm okay.
Yeah.
Like I was doing the right thing. But doesn't matter what anybody else says. Matthias noticed that I was having a tough period and I had to battle. Like I mentioned that play last year or in the Cup final in 24 when Foegele got drilled along the boards, got the puck into the middle of the ice. I think it went up to Hyman, who then got it to McDavid, who scored. And Foegele got drilled from behind. Probably should have been a penalty. And in the post game, in the post goal scrum where they're celebrating, like Ekholm took a little extra second and put his glove on the back of Fogel's head and kind of turned to him. Like it was to me, it's like that dad moment. Like I saw what you did. I saw you did the right thing. I saw you paid the price. I know your name's not going to get announced for an assist, but I saw what you did, right? So anyway, he's become a very popular player. But I'm just wondering, what if things are catching up to him? His age, the injury. Does Stan Bowman, when he's putting together the defense for this year, and I don't have an answer to this, everybody. I seriously want you to tell me if you have an answer or a thought on what I'm thinking. When Stan Bowman's assembling the defense for this year, is it simply, okay, I got to worry about the number 6 because maybe I'm not going to bring Klingberg back. Stetcher's still signed. He can be a 7. Or does Stan Bowman have to think, I need to replace Klingberg and I have to have somebody in the wings who's, even if it's an Ekholm light type player, just in case things catch up to Ekholm or something resurfaces over the summer, or he's hindered in training camp or something like that. This is just, I'm not trying to blow things out of proportion.
Well,
but it's off season. We're talking about a lot of stuff. It's the afternoon debate for Edmonton Garrison. Is this a legitimate concern that I have? Or do people want me to never bring this up again? That's also fine.
He's got 1 year left on his deal at $6 million.
Right.
Then he's an unrestricted free agent. There still is right now value in Mattias Ekholm on the trade market, but there is still value to the Oilers. If you have a healthy Mattias Ekholm, I think he can be, well, one of the top 2 defensemen on this team, if not the best defender.
All round, perhaps.
All round,
he might be the best, yes, when he's on.
But you can't help, especially, look, this stems from the fact that the Oilers don't have a lot of luxury in terms of cap space. You have to look at this and say, is it best, to try and move Mattias Ekholm now prior to him becoming an unrestricted free agent and you get nothing in return and he just walks? I think it's a valid question. And I don't know, Reid, but I think it is worth bringing up. I don't think you should. Maybe it is a little Debbie Downer, but it's you're just looking at things, right?
Yes.
So could I see that happening? Absolutely. Yeah, you could. Wouldn't be shocked. Could I see Ekholm returning and maybe missing a month or two at the start of the season? Yeah, could see that as well. But there's always that what if. What if that is, finally caught up with Mattias Ekholm?
Ekholm's beard is in the nasty chat. Says, don't worry, brah. Vikings get better with age. Dr. Octagon. Now, this is an interesting point, too. Dr. Octagon says, Wallman replaces Ekholm in the top 4. Ekholm takes over with Kulak as the third pair left shot. Or he says, Ekholm takes over Kulak as the third pair left shot D. Trade Kulak for a right defenseman. Okay, well, I don't know about trading Kulak at this point. We'll see, I guess. But I think the first part of Dr. Octagon's message, maybe that's the thing. Maybe Wallman becomes that guy. That he plays more. Ekholm's minutes get scaled back, and he becomes more of a second or third pairing defenseman at this point in his career. Now, is Wallman as good as Ekholm all around? I don't think he is. He's probably got a better shot. I think Ekholm is a better all-around defenseman, again, when he's at the top of his game. But maybe with age, maybe with the injury, Ekholm's going to kind of just naturally move down the depth chart a little bit, and you're going to need other guys to set up. Fair question, but I think that comment backs up why I have a concern.
Yeah, and you're forgetting about a player like Alec Regula, right? We didn't see anything from him this year, but he's signed.
Right. Well, we don't know.
I mean, you never know what that's going to turn into. I guess that's a bigger if. But look, do you think they could trade an Ekholm and bring in a 7 out of 10 version of Ekholm for half the price?
Oh, I don't know about that. I think Ekholm would still have value to other teams, but I still think he has the most value to the Oilers.
Sound defensemen don't just grow on trees, much like goalies.
But I don't know if they'd be looking to trade him at the moment. So anyway, I guess that's the only
we
one
could talk about this for a long time.
Yeah,
we might have to bring it up later.
We might do something else a little bit later on. All right, we got to get to the 4 o'clock break. We have Buying or Selling presented by Damon Bunting coming up. It looks like there's going to be a new CBA, more regular season hockey. How do you feel about that? Back in a couple minutes.
The Lock Shop.
Like, if the top levels and the top organizations are boxing, MMA, CONCACAF is back alley brawling. It's nuts. And the El Salvador team, they did not even try to score. Like, I don't get it. And Canada has this spot right now. Well, I mean, explain this to me where Canada's spot in CONCACAF is. They seem to be going after our federation. Like, are we the bad guys in CONCACAF now?
The Lock Shop, weekday mornings at 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
If you aren't wearing a Connect belt, what are you waiting for? A one-size-fits-all belt with a smooth, hole-free track system makes it adjustable for the perfect fit. With fully customizable options, you can choose your belt color, material, and buckle to suit your style. 100% Canadian owned and operated, Connect belts are designed for work, everyday wear, and even a round of golf. Check out the large selection of men's and women's styles at www.knktbelts.com. Connect belts, the perfect fit every time.
River Cree Resort and Casino on K97 proudly present Steve Earle and Reckless Kelly. Featuring small band and acoustic performances, Steve Earle and Reckless Kelly in the venue July 25th. Tickets at rivercreekresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it.
Sunday through Thursday, 9 p.m. to close, head to the Banquet and dive into banquet burgers, sushi tacos, nachos, and more. Late night bites, big flavors, and epic deals. The Banquet. Get real. Play hard.
You've heard the name, but what does it mean? For over 66 years, William Huff Advertising has supplied signage from screen printing to digital to LED with design, production, and install in-house. It's a one-stop shop for all your signage needs. Edmonton owned and operated, William Huff has been trusted by the biggest companies and teams in the City of Champions and many others across the country to do the job. If you're looking for a way to get the word out about your company or event, they are the answer. Go to www.williamhuff.com. Their results speak for themselves.
Edmonton is on the road in Winnipeg to kick off Week 4 CFL action. Join Matt Iwanyk and J. Milne as they break down the game during the Green and Gold kickoff show. Coverage starts at 5:30 right here on EST. In other news, veteran free agent kicker Justin Tucker has been suspended 10 weeks by the NFL for violating the league's personal conduct policy. And around the NHL, the Wild have sent Brendan Gaunce to the Blue Jackets in exchange for Cameron Butler. Elsewhere, Sportsnet's Elliot Friedman has reported that 29-year-old unrestricted free agent Nikolai Ehlers has informed the Jets that he will test free agency. Earlier, the Jays beat the Guardians 6-0 with Toronto's Vladimir Guerrero Jr. exiting the game early, being hit from a pitch from Cleveland's Tanner Bibby. Guerrero Jr. had x-rays which showed no fractures. And through 7 innings right now, San Francisco trails 8-5 against Miami as the Mariners and Twins are runless in the second. For the Riverhawks, they have their series closer in Victoria against the Harbor Cats. First pitch at 7:35. I'm Zachary Kubish. That was your sports update. The second hour of the Reid Wilkins Show starts right now.
This is intense. Who made this again? We gotta
unnamed man.
We gotta find out who made it. This was a listener-made remix on the Thumb Click remix on the Thumb Click song that we use to encourage you to give us the thumbs up if you're watching on YouTube. Keep clicking away. Let's see how high we can get today. Appreciate you tuning in.
Regarding our last segment, the afternoon debate presented by the Edmonton Garrison, Andrew, the accountant, says Ekholm filled the Clefbaum size gap in the D. I agree his health and age are concerning, but I think a full season of having Wallman will make a big difference. I do think one move on D, perhaps a right-handed defensive guy who can at least keep up, unlike Vinny D. Big Dave says, I think Reid's concern is legit. I think he has value when he doesn't have a massive injury history, so I'm not super worried about it. Defensemen don't seem to age the same as forwards. And to a broader point, I'm not super worried about the defense at all. Klingberg coming back from surgery is worth a longer look at the beginning of next season, and they have Wallman to insulate him as well.
Oh, interesting. So he would bring Klingberg back.
Yes.
But the price point's going to be a big thing there. I mean, you need Klingberg to come in, probably $2 million max?
How could he command much higher than that?
Because if he goes to the free market, somebody might say, hey, look, your defense sucks and I can pass the puck. Right? To be quite blunt. But yeah, I don't think the Oilers can afford to give him more than a couple of million.
Then you'd have to let him spread his wings.
Right. Go fly, Mr. Klingberg. Off you go. Cling out of the cage.
What's that? Da-da-da-da. Coob.
Yeah, I don't have that. There it is.
Spread your wings, Klingberg.
All right, you can get in touch by texting us 780-218-9999. That is the afternoon inbox.
We need some thummies.
Presented by River Cree Resort and Casino, home of the kitchen restaurant. All you can eat prime rib buffet for just $49.99 every Sunday. That is from 4 to 10 p.m. Email reid@edmontonsportstalk.com, j@edmontonsportstalk.com. And you can also post in the Nasty Chat. Again, give us the thumbs up on Nasty Chat as well. Got an email here from Bronco Nick. It's his limerick for the day. Tonight, the green and gold take to the field. EE fans will be watching with our eyes peeled. We have the Fords and cheer the Cords. Fight on whatever we are until score is sealed. From Bronco Nick, who does a great job contributing with a limerick every day. We appreciate it. Did you see the Frank Saravelli wrote about this? I know some other NHL media people have reported on it as well. Some of the details on the agreement for the extension to the collective bargaining agreement between the NHL and the NHL Players Association. Have you seen some of these, Jay?
I'm
curious what you think about some of these. We're going to get into buying or selling. Presented by Damon Bunting, a consistent top-producing realtor in Edmonton area for over 17 years. He and his team would love to help you find that right home or make the move from your current home. Community-driven, he understands what it takes to make a difference in our city. Check him out, DamonBunting.com. Instagram handle, Damon Bunting Real Estate. How about this one? Starting in 26-27, so next season already, not this coming up season, the next one. 84-game regular season. 84-game regular season. Preseason, 4 games per team. The Oilers often play 8. And any player with 100 or more career games can only play a maximum of 2 preseason games.
That reeks, the last part there reeks of the NHLPA.
Right.
A little bit of a veteran move there.
Yes.
And the earlier statement reeks of the NHL. 84 games.
I'm fine with the preseason being reduced. So, you know, all the veteran players will only be able to play 2 tune-up games. So I guess they're fine with this. Man, oh man. Like, are we just going to keep adding regular season
when
games?
does it stop? When does it stop?
Well, late June. What was last Tuesday? Was that June 19th or June 20th? No, that's not true. Last Tuesday was June 17th.
Yeah.
Last year, Game 7 was on June 24th. The days were getting shorter by the time of the end of the Stanley Cup final. So we're talking about extending the regular season. What is this going to prove?
Well, it just is one of these things again where it's just money. I understand why they want to. Which owners wouldn't want to have an extra home game?
Yeah, true.
What's the revenue there? What's the gate? You know, who wouldn't want that? What television partner wouldn't want another, broadcast?
Right. And I guess if you're shortening the preseason, then the whole length of the season will be about the same. But man, oh man, there are some dog days now. I know it's only adding 2 games. But by the time, I mean, maybe some teams, it might extend the playoff race if 2 teams are close. They're still going to be close. So there's extra points of, I mean, how many games would have some of the Oilers' big guys sat? They would have set out 2 extra games.
Yeah. But that's because how long was it since it went to 82?
Well, they had 84 a couple of years in the 90s.
And
then I think it went back down to 82. Season structure of I can't remember when it first went to 82. But it's been quite a while. It was 80 in the 80s when I was a lad. I mean, they slowly increased it through the 70s. I think they went 72, 76, 78 or something like that. I suppose it's an arbitrary number. That there's no magic number where it's like, well, that's the perfect amount. That's the exact amount we need to sort out all these teams. I just feel, are they going to keep Are they going to keep adding games like 10 years from now, or are we going to go, well, now we need 86 or now we need 88? I mean, if they go to 36 or 40 teams, you're going to need close to 80 just so everybody plays each other twice.
Well, and there's a point too. I mean, you look at like you said a week and a bit ago, the Stanley Cup was still on.
Yes,
it's just that increase surprises me that the PA would be allowing that to happen.
Well, they're shortening the preseason. 95-96, they had 82 games. Well, I guess I can just look at all the seasons the Oilers played. Because they did do 84 a couple seasons in the 90s, but they also had, remember when they used to do a whole bunch of neutral site games? So it was based off an 82-game format, and then they had neutral site games. So when the Oilers came into the league in 79-80, it was 80. And then in 92-93 and 93-94, it was 84. There was only 48 in 94-95 because of the lockout. So it's been 82 since 95-96. So it's going to go up to 84. So I don't know, man. It's just that feel. Now, it might balance it out within your division because there's a cycle in the division where some years you only play a team in your division 3 times instead of 4. This year for the Oilers, it was both Calgary and Vancouver. So I guess you're not going to lose that game against a division rival. So that's good if they're playing the Flames 4 times every year. I just wonder what's the maximum. I guess they never have to set one. I mean, I think 70 games would be plenty to sort it out and let's get to the playoffs. I know they're never going to go down, but what's the upper limit? What is the upper limit?
It's got to be pushing it. I mean,
it's got to be pushing it. And there's a point where I think people. The playoffs are the marquee draw, and a lot of fans just want to get to the playoffs. And let's go. Do you need 84 games to sort the playoff teams out from the non-playoff teams? I don't think you need that many.
No, you don't. It's simply a money thing. It's all it is. You know what? From the management of professional sports leagues, that's all it is about. At the end of the day is money.
All right. Here's a big one. There will be a comprehensive playoff salary cap mechanism, which will effectively close the LTIR loophole for teams to significantly pad payroll by using injury relief space. Maybe then they won't investigate the Oilers anymore.
Well, hey, call this the Oilers rule.
I mean, look, I know a lot of fans don't like this. The Oilers did take advantage of it this year. Other teams have in the past. Probably was going to happen at some point once the NHL owners signed off on it or the GM said, okay, we can do this. So I guess I'm buying on that. If just for no other reason, it'll stop people complaining about it.
Yeah, really.
That's probably the biggest upside for me. The maximum player contracts are going to be reduced by a year. So if you re-sign with the same team, it'll go from 8 years down to 7. And if you're changing teams, 6 years will be the max. Right now, it's 8 years and 7 years. Do you have a problem with that?
I'm surprised the players, who is that benefiting?
Well,
and
I guess if
why?
you're a player, you could be.
Why?
If you're a really good player, you could be an unrestricted free agent twice, even and sign longer deals and maybe make more money.
Well, so it says the 2025 season will mark the final 8-year deals. In the NHL.
Right.
Well, better go get them then, I suppose.
Right.
I thought that's always what the players want, is a long-term deal, an 8-year deal.
Well, they want the guaranteed money, but I think also if you're a really good player, if you're a free agent sooner, then you cash in a little bit quicker on probably an increased salary cap too.
Sure.
Some rights to draft picks will be across the board until age 22. It's 2 years for some players. What else do we want to get to here? We don't need to talk about that. Revenue splitting is going to stay at 50-50. There'll be the establishment of a full-time e-bug, the emergency backup goalie position within organizations, so that amateur goalies signed out of beer league are not entering games in rare injury circumstances. So a full-time e-bug.
I don't like that.
Yeah, we want the beer league goalies.
I want Charlie from the Clearview Arena, the Zamboni driver,
right,
moonlighting as a professional goaltender.
Yeah, why not?
It goes to the best stories. We were talking about it earlier on Two Guys. Like, what a job that would, because that's a full-time position. So, you know, I told Gager to watch for the hiring post.
Well, yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Would you have somebody like that? All right, we're just looking at some of this stuff. Teams will no longer be able to mandate player dress code for arriving and departing games. Because what do they always show the players walking in? They usually will have a suit on, not necessarily a tie. Did you have a dress code when you played for the Golden Bears? Was there a dress code?
Yeah, you'd have to be in team gear. Like usually a part of your gear kit, there was a golf shirt.
Right.
So you'd wear that on the bus. But, you know, no sweatpants, that kind of stuff. But for home games, no.
You could just show up.
Show up however you want.
Right. Because right now the guys even show up for home games in a suit and leave that way as well. So if this is getting into the CBA, the players must have been really bothered by it. I'm tired of wearing a suit. It's not comfortable.
So teams could mandate a dress code?
Yes.
They'd say you have to wear a suit?
Apparently they could, yes.
Like, what is up with that?
Or maybe going on the plane, you got to be somewhat professional. Well, maybe they're just trying to say, okay, like no sweatpants, no tracksuits, no hoodies. Like we want you looking presentable, perhaps.
This has Austin Matthews written all over it.
Why him?
Because he'd be the first person to show up in bougie sweatpants and a bougie hoodie. Or in Saskatchewan, they call it a bunny hug.
Right. Yes. Thank you.
That's an Austin Matthews rule. So if your mom wants another reason to despise Austin Matthews.
Oh, she needs one. Yeah.
You can tell, dear Louise, that this is it. He's infiltrated the NHL.
He's taken over. So anyway, but I think the longer regular season is the big one here, but thankfully it comes with a shorter preseason. You know, the salary stuff will be important, though perhaps not an incredible wave of change there. Signing bonuses will be capped at 60%. That'll be a little bit of a change as well. But yeah, 84-game regular season. My goodness. 780-218-9999 is the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. That is how you can text us. You can email Reid at EdmontonSportsTalk.com, Jay at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. If you're in the nasty chat with us, chat with each other. That is on YouTube. And don't forget, give us a thumbs up. Let's work to getting towards 100 here. If everybody got in there and clicked right away, we would hit that total. More on the Oilers, and we do have some Elks discussion coming up as well. Matthew Iwanyk is going to slide into studio. Why not? We got some other fun things to get to with him. Here comes the Coop.
Out west, the 0-2 Elks and 2-0 Bombers go head-to-head in Week 4 CFL action. Matt Iwanyk, J-Milne have you covered with the Green and Gold Kickoff Show, which airs live at 5:30 only on EST. NFL news sees veteran kicker Justin Tucker being suspended for 10 weeks. He violated the league's personal conduct policy, and a couple moves around the NHL involving the Blue Jackets. Columbus shipping out Cameron Butler to Minnesota in exchange for Brendan Gaunce, and earlier Daniel Tarasov was traded from Columbus to Florida for a 5th rounder in tomorrow's draft. And according to Sportsnet's Elliot Friedman, 29-year-old unrestricted free agent Nikolai Ehlers has informed the Jets that he will test free agency. While MLB action has 6 games wrapped up, 2 games live, the Marlins exploding to a 12-5 lead over the Giants in the 8th, while Seattle and Minnesota are runless in the 3rd inning. Riverhawks also play there in action just after 7:30 against the Harbor Cats to close out their series. Edmonton losing 6-4 yesterday. This sports update is brought to you by Paramount Flooring, proudly serving Edmonton and area for over 30 years. Their West End showroom is open 7 days a week. You can also shop online at ParamountFlooring.ca. We get another dose of Matt Iwanyk after the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you up to date.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric.
Luke Gasnick, brought to you by Pro-Am Sports.
I am very much on the page of, I think you're going to see a round 3 of the Stanley Cup final. We're headed for a 3-time collision course here. Everything Edmonton should be doing from this point moving forward should be to help them beat the Florida Panthers, because that is the eventual opponent.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric, presented by South Ford Chevrolet. Weekday mornings 6 to 9, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Got some gently used furniture or home goods that need a new home? Find Edmonton is here to help. Every month we furnish over 100 homes to those transitioning out of homelessness, and we need your gently used furniture and home goods. Drop off at 5120 122nd Street or call for free local pickup. Just visit findedmonton.com to learn how your donations can help create a home for someone in need. Plus shop our thrift store, in-store or online, with proceeds benefit those moving out of homelessness through housing supports. Visit us at findedmonton.com. Find Edmonton, supporting our community one home at a time. River Creek Resort and Casino and K97 proudly present Steve Earle and Reckless Kelly. Featuring small band and acoustic performances, Steve Earle and Reckless Kelly in the venue July 25th. Tickets at rivercreekresort.com.
River Creek Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it.
Since 1952, William Huff has been the heartbeat of Edmonton's advertising world. From humble beginnings to a citywide powerhouse, we've been the go-to for signage from print to design and installation. Partnering with Edmonton's top sports franchises and major events, we've helped shape the city's global reputation. Our secret? Unmatched customer service, decades of experience, and a passion for excellence we call the William Huff Advantage. Visit us online at williamhuff.com.
Hosting the Big Canada Day Bash? Make room for the celebration with Sentinel Storage. From decluttering the garage, storing your seasonal gear, and keeping your treasure safe, we've got the space so you can enjoy the day and every day. Try 4 weeks free at sentinelstorage.ca.
All right, thanks a lot for tuning in this afternoon. Scott in the Nasty Chat with an interesting post here. He said, I would welcome the dress code change in the NHL if players dressed in tracksuits or more comfortable, then that would trickle down to the kids. I have always shook my head when Adam-aged kids need/want a suit. So that's what, U9 or U10 they call it? No, I guess maybe it'd be a little older than that.
Well, why do they do that?
They're copying the NHLers.
Exactly.
So is that good or bad? Scott says that's a little too much.
I agree.
You need a 10-year-old wearing a suit to a game.
Well, yeah. I mean, how many games do they play? And then they need to wear a suit. Mom and dad need to pony up for 1 or 2 suits for this kid that they're going to grow out of before the season ends.
Right.
So, yeah.
Team tracksuit. Show up in your team tracksuit.
Show up in whatever the heck
your Def Leppard
you
t-shirt.
want to.
A lot of Adam-age kids have the Def Leppard t-shirts.
It's a huge craze. Because I got news for you. It doesn't matter it won't affect your play, how you dress to the game. It absolutely will not.
It could
will
affect
not.
how you feel about yourself.
Nope.
Put you in the mindset, that sense of I'm dressing like an NHLer, so I'm going to perform like an NHLer. I'm going to commit to a 200-foot game. I'm going to block shots.
You should be a psychologist.
I'm dressing like Connor McDavid, so I'm going to try as hard as Connor McDavid does. Maybe it helps the kids. I don't know. I mean, what do little kids look up to NHLers? They want to emulate them. I'm wearing a suit to the game.
A lot of kids want to emulate you.
I'm Dennis Potvin. No, they don't. Okay, don't be silly.
Yeah, well, you missed your calling, bro. Should have been a psychologist.
I could have done that.
You think you could successfully?
No.
What would be your specialty?
What I would, if I would have known, I would have wound up doing this job. Maybe it pertains more to my previous job. Just hang on, Iwanyk. We'll get to you. You work here anyway.
Can you just back up a bit?
You work here anyway. You can jump in if you want. No, Matthew Iwanyk's here if you're on the audio stream.
Look good, feel good, play good, Jay. I get that from Big Uke. That's on the field. That's on the ice. That's where you can look good, feel good.
If I would have known I was going to wind up doing this job, specifically doing overtime open line for 11 seasons, I would have gotten like a degree in, I guess, psychology. Enough to understand the sports fan's brain and to say to people, okay, well, you're feeling this way because of this, this, and this. Here's another way to look at it. And then the next person calls in, okay, you're going through this. Here's how I'm going to help you through it. as opposed to just hanging up on people and never talking to them again.
Scott Thompson says, you get it, Reid and Matt. Matt hasn't said a damn word since he's been on here.
Silence means he agrees with me.
No, I agree with Jay. I don't like the youth having to wear suits.
That's what I said.
I'm with you.
What if they want to?
If they want to, sure, but like it's not a want. It's more of a mandate. Like the team, like it's like set up. Like you guys got to come in suits. And this like Don Cherry was the one that was kind of throwing that out there. And I get it for back in like the 90s and stuff. Things are different now. Individualism, let them go. I don't think a kid that is 9 is going to play better because they wore a suit to the game versus what they feel comfortable in. Now, if they want to, go for it. But I agree. Especially like they're going to grow out of it. But I didn't even think by the end of the season.
Yeah. Okay, so
they need 2 suits. Like they might need 3 suits. Okay, one to start. What if there's a massive growth spurt during that year?
Very likely.
Yeah, you eat a lot of chicken nuggets and you grow.
Well, there you go.
So
drink a lot of milk.
Okay, we
bones,
need help here.
Strong.
If you're a minor hockey coach or parent, or you want to get in touch with someone in your life and have them chime in, did your son or daughter, or does your son and daughter play on a minor hockey team? And I guess we're saying like a preteen hockey team even, where there's a dress code for how they show up to games. Are they supposed to wear a suit or a collared shirt or a dress shirt or something like that? Because I don't know.
At certain levels, there's
sports, but they don't play hockey. And they're still young. Yeah, well, they're younger. They're in that age range. So I want to know. I want to know.
I want individualism.
We used to have... Okay, so I'll go way back to my youth. And I didn't play high-level sports. I was on the high school volleyball team at Grand Trunk in Evansburg. Our coach said on game days... We didn't wear suits, but we had to wear like a dress shirt or a collared shirt.
Yeah.
Home or away. So even if so all the other students knew, they must have a volleyball game today if they didn't follow it, because you'd wear something that made you stood out a little bit. And I guess when you're getting off the bus at another school, you look a little more unified and presentable.
Yeah. It's a respect thing.
Right. So you don't want an 8-year-old kid wearing a suit ever, Matthew?
If they want to wear it, go for it. I don't think it should be important or mandated. And if somebody wants to wear, actually, I do like the idea of the whole team tracksuit. Or it's like this is a thing like the Italian national soccer team. They will dress up in sharp suits. Like it's great soccer suits, and I love seeing that when they're all it's well done. You're not doing that in grade 9s or like 9-year-olds.
If you want to do it, do it.
Yeah, if you want to do it, go for it. Don't force everyone to go buy a suit just because. This is the way we want to do it, and this is the way it's always been done. Screw that. Give me tracksuits.
But I get why kids want to do it is because they're emulating their heroes.
Right. And I do think there is something to be said about building a team culture. I mean, I was lucky enough to interview Don Horwood a few times, and he was still the coach of the Golden Bears. I think the first year or two I did play-by-play for U of A basketball, but I had him on Inside Sports a couple times. And when he took over, the Golden Bears basketball team was not good. And I believe one of the things he did was get team sport coats, suit jackets with Gooba on them, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could still get in touch with him, but I think he did that to be like, hey guys, like we're representing the U of A. We are unified. We are professional. We act a certain way. And for him, that was part of the team building. Because I think he thought, okay, if all of us dressing up and looking a little better and feeling a little more unified is worth a 2% improvement when we play Victoria, we need that, because right now we're 30% behind Victoria. It's not going to turn us into a team, but if it's a little step to help us build a program.
But now you're at a different age.
I know this is
you're at a different age,
yes.
because like that's with kids. Like I like suiting up and stuff when I go to like other playoff games. I enjoyed it a little bit more. As a kid, I would have hated suiting up. I would have just dreaded. I don't want to wear a suit. I don't want to wear this. And that's where I think it's just a little bit different with the kids. Let them be kids. Let them wear what they want and have some fun with it. And when it comes to the NHL level, one thing I like about it is we want to see personality of these players. This is a way to get personality of these players. Let them go with modern measure and create something wacky or cool that fits their style or fits who they are. Let them walk to the game.
The Elks literally 6 minutes ago posted on Twitter, look good, feel good.
But how many suits are being worn?
None.
Exactly. How many collars are being worn?
Players entering the stadium.
Golf shirt.
What is this? A soccer jersey?
Sleeveless
shirt? Soccer sweatshirt?
I don't even know what that is. That's not soccer.
Couple casual dress, casual polos.
Is that Ceresna?
Cut off. One of them was Ceresna.
A cut off sweater.
Yeah.
But you can still look good. You can still feel good.
Well,
you just don't have to be in suit.
Style is in the eye of the beholder. That's
Absolutely.
That's what I learned at fashion school.
I like the hoodie Zach's wearing. I would never wear that. Like, I don't think I could pull that off. I think that looks good, the one Zach. Personally.
Well, we've opened up like a big can of worms here. This is kind of fun.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm here.
Give us a thumbs up if you're watching on YouTube. We need 24 to get to 100. Let's do that by the top of the hour, which would be great.
Think the Elks are going to open up a can of whoop-ass tonight?
I do not. I think I've been quite clear that I do not think that's going to happen. I realize you're trying to be humorous with that remark, Jay, but
talk about Debbie Downer.
I can't
eh?
help but answer honestly. If the Elks win tonight, I do not think it will be a whoop-assing, an ass-whooping.
Man, wouldn't that be something?
If the Elks won like 38-9, that would be the shock of the year.
Wow, that'd be wonderful. What
Speak
a post-game
it into
show.
Existence. You know?
Manifest it. We just got put in the universe.
What's this?
It's
what do you have here?
I was given this to me earlier. Mic'd up the Edmonton Sports Talk story cast list.
So I asked GPT. Cat, what did I say?
I don't know what you said.
I asked a cat. I asked a random neighborhood cat. I asked Chat GPT to cast a movie about Edmonton Sports Talk, and I've given it to Matthew.
It's actually quite interesting. They've got most of it, I think, pretty down. Although they got one thing a little off, I could already see. Dustin Nielsen is to be played by Ryan Reynolds. I could see that.
Yeah,
there's a little bit there.
People always mistake him for Ryan Reynolds.
Role, co-founder, main host, dreamer. Notes, charming, quick-witted, leads with heart and humor. I'm second for some reason on this list, but I'm played by...
You're the coup! You're second in command.
Yeah, I'm played by Adam Driver.
I could see that.
Intense, driven executive producer. That's my role. Focused, intense, and unafraid to throw a headset. That's what it says.
Okay. Sounds about right.
Tom Gazzola, played by Oscar Isaac. Style forward, anchor, smooth voice. Cool, suave, deeply loyal with hidden depth. That's Tommy. Hernan Salas, this is where there's a little something. Played by Pedro Pascal. Tech wizard with Chilean spice.
Tech wizard?
Yeah, but he's got Chilean spice, which is...
He does.
But warm, sarcastic, yes, and the glue guy.
They called him the glue guy.
Him the glue guy.
They called him the glue guy. Reid Wilkins, played by Paul Giamatti.
It's a great character.
Skeptical veteran, voice of reason. Brings gravitas. Asks the hard questions.
All right.
Jay, you're played by Charlie Day.
Okay.
Jay didn't know who that was. Do you know now?
I see him here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Comic relief, behind the scenes gremlin.
What's that mean?
Means you're always popping out of toilets and stuff. Well, that was Ghoulies. That was the cover box for Ghoulies.
You're unpredictable, hilarious, and possibly feral.
Feral?
So now do you know who Charlie Day is? He's from It's Always Sunny, right?
Yeah, I know who he is. Yeah.
Okay.
Lieutenant Eric, played by Jason Sudeikis. Morning energy and mayhem. Likeable chaos. Puts ketchup on everything. Joaquin Gage will be played by Terry Crews. Mic'd up enforcer turned analyst, which is not correct. Big presence, bigger heart, still has his gear. That's about right. Big presence, bigger heart.
Yeah.
That's Gager. Zachary Kubish, played by Joe Keery.
I had to look up who that was.
I don't know who this one is. Keery.
Is he from Stranger Things? Is that the guy from Stranger Things?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Digital mastermind, tech savvy, meme lord energy.
Oh, that's a good one.
And Trev is played by Steve Buscemi.
That's amazing. That's like going to be the largest age gap between the real person.
Like studio mystery man. No one knows what he does. He's always there. So apparently ChatGPT thinks Trev doesn't do any work.
So Trev is what, 26, 27?
He is 26, I
Steve
believe.
Buscemi is 67 years of age.
It's the mustache.
He's playing Trev.
It's the mustache.
That's amazing. You're going to keep that, won't you?
You could keep it. I'll pin it up there.
Yeah, and then we'll move it to the new office.
Sure, I'll get it framed.
People want Rick Moranis to play me.
I think Paul Giamatti looks good. Like, he had the beard at one point, too, and I think you guys...
He's a great actor.
I'm a huge Paul Giamatti fan.
Seth
You know Paul
Rogen as
Giamatti?
Dusty.
Yep.
Okay.
Vin Diesel for Joaquin. Another suggestion. John C. Reilly or Will Ferrell for Dusty. I think Will Ferrell as Dusty would work better than Ryan. rather than Ryan Reynolds. So Will Ferrell's in his 60s now, isn't he? Or close.
Yeah, he
probably.
would have to be, I think.
Trev says he's in the nasty chat. That's BS, man. I got the worst one.
Yeah, you did, Trev. There's no doubt about that.
Deal with it.
Looks like you're looks like you're up the crick with your casting.
What you have to do is work harder with ChatGPT.
Yeah, ChatGPT
Convince AI.
knows all about me.
Because what did you enter for this?
I put in, can you please cast a movie about Edmonton Sports Talk? And that's exactly what it spit out.
It had all those names.
It had all those names.
And that was it.
I didn't say you forgot anybody, so it knew all the regulars, I guess. It didn't have Cass, didn't have Jasmine.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Didn't have
no,
Dulcie.
we've got 10 outside of Benny. We have 10 Monday through Friday.
I'm not casting an intern. Come on.
I think we got 10 Monday through Friday workers here, and it got all 10.
All right, what do you think for tonight, buddy? So Jay and I, at the top of the show, we did people to watch.
Yeah.
I had Matthew Peterson, the former Golden Bear, now with the Bombers.
Good
and
story.
I had Jordan Maksimic. Who were your people to watch?
Devondrick Bynum. And Mark Evans II. Left guard.
Okay. Who are your people to watch?
That's a great question. I'm going to keep this to the Elks related. You guys took some good ones. I think Jackson, a halfback spot. They cut Rugamba, moved him there, and then Garnes in the Sam linebacker spot. But I'll go with Jackson there. I hate that you took Evans II from me, because that would have been a big one as well there.
I'm a football analyst. What can I say?
Yeah, you're a solid one at that. You know the other one, Tre Ford. Homecoming, in a sense, going up against his old team. He doesn't have an interception this year. Intrigued to see if he has eyes on Zach Collaros of a way to know what he's about to do. Maybe get an edge there, jump there, or whatever. Tre Ford would be another one. That secondary needs to improve.
How do the Elks win this game?
We wake up from our dream, and that was during the dream somehow. This is a tough one to see how they win it.
What do you mean?
I don't right now. I don't know how. Like the path, like it's outside of the basic. Like, well, yeah, the offense goes out there and rolls, and the defense stops them. Like, I'm just trying to think of the play. I guess it would have to be is you need to get the pressure on Zach Collaros, because Collaros is known to throw interceptions and turn the ball over at times. You need to get to him so he throws some interceptions, and you need to take advantage of those. When Winnipeg turns the ball over, you have to take advantage, because historically the Elks haven't, and that's why they lose.
I was going to say, there's a lot of focus on the offense leading into this game. Can they push it down the field? Can they keep the run game going? I think this game comes down to the defense of the Elks. They have let play after play, mental mistake after mental mistake, cripple them in critical times. If they can just play a decent game, I'm not asking for an excellent game. If they can play a decent game, lose the mentals, they have a chance of winning this game.
I have some defensive stats to throw out there during the Green and Gold kickoff show.
Oh, when's that coming?
Yeah. It's coming up at 5:30.
With who?
Also, possibly no Nick Dembski, which would be huge for the Elks because he does very well. Myself and Jay Milne.
Oh, me? Oh, that'll be fun.
It'll
Yes.
be an incredible show. Yeah, and the Dembski being out.
Oh, maybe. He's a game-time decision. He might be there. But Dembski has historically done very well against the Elks.
Well, he's done well against everybody.
No Brady Oliveira, no Nick Dembski. Got it. That would be big for the Elks, but there still might be Nick Dembski.
All right. Hey, Iwanyk, thanks for coming on the show. You did a great job.
Reid, I really appreciate you asking me. This was wonderful. Jay, this was fun being with you.
Yeah.
Zach, excellent work.
You go now, Zach.
Oh.
CFL Week 4 action opens up with Edmonton visiting Winnipeg. EST's very own Dustin Nielsen on the call. Join Matt Iwanyk, Jay Milne as they preview the action during the Green and Gold kickoff show at 5:30 only on EST. In NFL news, former Ravens kicker Justin Tucker has been suspended 10 weeks for violating the league's personal conduct policy. The 35-year-old is a free agent playing the last 13 seasons in Baltimore. In the NHL Sportsnet's Elliot Friedman has reported that unrestricted undrafted free agent Nikolai Ehlers of the Jets will hit free agency, and the Blue Jackets have acquired Brendan Gaunce from the Wild in exchange for Cameron Butler. Columbus making another trade, sending Daniel Tarasov to Florida in exchange for a 5th-rounder in tomorrow's draft. Right now, in baseball, 2 games are live. Mariners and Twins runless in the 5th, while the Marlins just beat the Giants 12-5. Toronto back in action tomorrow to open up their series against Boston. And on the road, the Riverhawks battle the Harbor Cats. Edmonton losing 6-4 last night. First pitch for that one goes just after 7:30. This sports update is brought to you by Advantage Sports Medicine. Connor McDavid's got a team of specialists, and you're stuck with a bag of frozen peas. Get the same locker room approach that's trusted by the best in the game. Call them at 780-460-9977 or visit their website at advantagesportmed.ca to book an appointment today. Once we get back from break, we have the Athlete of the Week for Pasta Pantry. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
The EST Hangout.
Chris Knobloch is the 10th most tenured coach in the National Hockey.
Do you think that's an unforeseen byproduct of the salary cap? Because it's so much harder to move players than it is to switch coaches.
That's a great point.
Yeah, I never
thought of it like that. And maybe you're right. Like you as well. This team's not doing well. We can't trade with other teams because they're screwed with cap situation too. Fire the coach.
The EST Hangout, presented by Sentinel Storage. Weekday mornings 9 to 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Summer in Edmonton means 3 things: warm weather, long nights, and plenty of sports. From the lake to the links, you can boost your summer fun with hundreds of casino games, live betting on your favorite sports teams, and access to popular lotteries. All in one app, anywhere in the province. Download the Play Alberta app today and deposit $20 or more with promo code YAG50 to claim a $50 free bet. That's promo code YAG50 for a $50 free bet on us. Redeemable once per Play Alberta account. Remember, if you gamble, please use your game sense.
You've always known GCL Diesel as the experts in diesel fuel systems, but did you know that GCL is also your source for turbochargers and turbo repair? As a turbo supplier for Garrett, Borg Warner, and Holset, GCL can provide genuine original equipment turbos at wholesale prices. Whether it's diesel, gas, natural gas, or performance, we can provide you with the turbo or custom repair you require. Turbo questions? We've got turbo answers. Visit us in the West End or online at gcldiesel.com. GCL Diesel, turbochargers, understood.
Here's to the beautiful lakes and stunning landscapes Canada has to offer. And for the kayak, camping gear, and summer toys you used to enjoy them? Need extra space? Sentinel Storage. Try 4 weeks free. Visit sentinelstorage.ca. Happy Canada Day.
Okay, appreciate you tuning in this afternoon. We are coming to you from the Banquet Studio. Celebrate your birthday at the Banquet Bar. Amazing drinks, great vibes, and unforgettable memories. Book your party today at thebanquetbar.com. So we have the Green and Gold kickoff show with Jason Milne and Matthew Iwanyk coming up at 5:30. That'll go until 6:30. Elks Bombers play then. The boys will hop on after the game as well to break it down, as the Elks look for their first victory of the season and a long overdue win against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. So awesome to have a brand new segment on the show. We debuted it last week. We got our second featured guest right now. It's our Athlete of the Week, presented by Pasta Pantry. For over 30 years in Sherwood Park, Pasta Pantry serving hot, delicious comfort food made right in their kitchen. They do it fast so you can slow down. They're family at Pasta Pantry. When you go there, you're one of us. Go check out Pasta Pantry in Sherwood Park, your home of the pregame meal.
Well, this is a player that just with my football background and being with the Wildcats, I've known about this person for quite a while. Just a phenomenal athlete, an excellent football player, and congrats and welcome to the show, Carson Hartman, the Pasta Pantry Athlete of the Week. Carson is a defensive, well, everything. I mean, I'm pretty sure you can play any position, but you do stand out on the defensive line from Salisbury High School in Sherwood Park. Carson, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great. As you can see right now, I'm in the mountains in Canmore, and I just want to say it's an honor to be named the Pasta Pantry Athlete of the Week. It's I got a Pasta Pantry not too far from my house, so I can't wait to spend my gift card on that.
Well, yeah, I was gonna ask because growing up in Sherwood Park, I'm sure you've spent some time at the good old Pasta Pantry. I'm a pasticcio guy. What's your favorite over there?
Ooh, there's too many to choose, but I do like good lasagna, do like good lasagna. Those are great.
I mean, let's talk about some of the accomplishments here, Carson. I mean, you were a 3-year player with Sal. You're 6'3", 325 pounds. Bench press 225 for 25 reps. A 5'2", 42nd. Every piece of film I've seen on you, you wreak havoc. You wreck offensive game plans. You were a provincial champion with Salisbury. Your numerous Metro Edmonton All-Star selections. And this was a neat one on the Team Canada World Junior Tournament, the U20 team, gold medalist, and you were the youngest player ever selected in that tournament. What was that like? Was that the first time you've represented Canada, Carson?
Yeah, it was first time, and it was a big experience for me, and it was awesome playing against other teams and getting to know some of the people around the world, because I didn't really think Japan or Austria had football leagues until I started playing U20 Canada, and yeah, just in general, that was a huge experience, and yeah, it's really boosted my football, how do you say it, expertise, really made me a better player, especially the coaching from Shamari Williams out of UBC. And yeah, it was just an amazing experience and one of my biggest accomplishments to this day.
Now, Carson, I know you've been recruited by pretty much every U Sport team in Canada. You've been recruited even down in the NCAA, but you've now committed to going to the University of Alberta, play for the Golden Bears. That makes me happy as a former Golden Bear. You were recruited, though, and I wanted to ask you about that. You were recruited by Chris Morris, who was the head coach at the U of A, who obviously has since moved on, is now the president of the Edmonton Elks. What was that like? Did that at all affect your decision? Or I've talked to Coach Stevenson Bone a couple times. Seems like a very, very educated, smart football mind. But what was that process like? And what was it like getting recruited by pretty much every school in Canada?
I mean, first off, Christopher Morris, ever since I started football, right from Bantam, he tried to offer me. He didn't know I was only 16 at the time. And yeah, he definitely influenced my decision to go to U of A. He's been a big supporter of mine, and yeah, it was really sad to see him move on, but it just gives me more drive to impress coaches, Coach Bone, and yeah, really show myself up to these new staff.
All right, so Carson Hartman's our athlete of the week for Pasta Pantry. What's your story about getting into football? Who got you into it? When did you start? Give us those details.
The person who really got me into football was my dad. I remember one day I was, before football, I played hockey, so I never really knew much about football, but we were watching an NFL game. I can't remember which game it was, but my dad was watching it, and I was watching with him, and he was like, that looks pretty fun, and I'm a big guy, so I'd probably do pretty all right in it. Would you like to try some football out? And I'm like, you know what? Sure. I'd love to try it out. So I signed up for the Sherwood Park Wolverines. And yeah, I would just fit naturally in there, and I was just dominating from the very start. And after a while, we really started to realize that football is my thing, and I really excel at it.
So what was that? How old was that team? What age group were you in?
I started directly in Bantam, so that's like what is it?
12, 13,
okay.
Yeah.
And so
yeah,
were you a defensive player, or did you get to play a variety of positions? What happened there?
I kind of played a variety of positions. It wasn't a big team, and I was pretty much the best player on that team, so they kind of needed me for everything. But I mainly played on the line, and defense just kind of felt more like my thing, because on O-line, you're basically just getting hit all day. You're the nail, whereas on D-line, you're the hammer, and you get to hurt people, and that's what I like.
That's okay. That's a good comment.
Yeah,
hurt people, and that's what I like. Why not?
Carson, you were nominated by Nicole Hartman. Is that your mom?
Yes, that's my mom.
Okay, she and I went back and forth a few times. She seems like a wonderful person, but you mentioned your dad getting you in football, but a lot of have you had time to think about your journey and reflect on just how much your mom and your dad meant in getting you to where you are right now?
I can't even tell you how much I'm thankful for them. They're a great support system. I couldn't be where I am without them, especially my dad, because he was mainly the one who took me out to go to camps. He signed me up for training down in the States, signed me up for combines down in the States as well. And my mom definitely helped a lot as well. She was a lot of emotional support and definitely a lot of the background things. Like, she works with my high school team's booster club, which funded all our program. And they both helped me so much. And I'm really thankful for both of them. I couldn't do it without them.
Well, yeah, family is important for sure. Look, maybe this is a little unfair, but you're clearly doing well. You're recruited. You're a hot prospect. Like, would you like to play pro someday? NFL, CFL, whoever looks at you, or are you just kind of take it as it comes with your football career?
Oh yeah, of course I am. I really do want to go pro, but right now I'm just starting a new chapter. So right now I'm just trying to focus on excelling, growing, getting better at the game, and really becoming that great player for the U of A.
What's the one part of your game, Carson, that you would say, because you're moving from high school to U Sports, that's a big jump. However, in watching you play, I think you're capable. Well, I know you're capable of it. But what would you say is a thing that you need to work on most in your game and refine before you get to that U Sports level?
I probably have to say endurance. My endurance is not that great. Just getting out on more runs and working out. What do you say? Working out. How would you say it? More constant training, like constant movements instead of like just working on technique all the time. I got to work on more ladder drills, running hills, more of that conditioning to keep up my high level of play at the next level.
All right. Well, Carson, thanks a lot for hopping on. Should we ask you, is there, I know you mentioned your parents, is there a coach or anybody you'd want to acknowledge today?
Oh, yes. Love to acknowledge the U of A coach, my D-line coach, Coach Mondo Sewell. I also like to thank Coach, I'd like to thank Coach Potter. I'd like to thank Coach, Odell Willis. Yeah, Odell Willis definitely helped me out. He's one of my trainers, and definitely shout out to him and Athletes Compound. They definitely helped me to get me where I am today.
Right on. Well, I didn't play U of A football like Jay, but I took classes there, so I love the Golden Bears as well. So all the best there. Thanks for sharing your story. Congratulations on being the Pasta Pantry Athlete of the Week. Hopefully we're talking to you again someday, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much. Again, I'm honored, and I can't wait to come back on this podcast when I'm senior U of A.
There you go.
Right on. Carson, thank you. Carson Hartman checking in. Pasta Pantry Athlete of the Week. Great news segment on the show. We debuted it last week with Abby Vu, a young female football player, and Carson on. So it just so happened we had two football to start, but we're going to do all sports. We take submissions.
Yeah.
So people can email either Jay or me, jay@edmontonsportstalk.com, reid@edmontonsportstalk.com, or just go to edmontonsportstalk.com and fill out the submission form there. We've already got several, they start coming in right away, which is really cool.
It's awesome.
And Jay and I love those stories. And first of all, they're just great stories. We love letting people know what's going on in Edmonton and area with some of the great, most of them are probably going to be younger athletes. Doesn't have to be. but letting people know what's going on. And you never know. You might, like somebody put in the nasty chat, come play for the Elks. Who knows? In 5 years, you could have Carson Hartman, rookie for the Edmonton Elks. You never know. That's the great thing about featuring athletes like the ones that we're going to have on.
Well, and I've wondered as this continues, because I'm pretty sure Pasta Pantry is in this for the long haul. They're really excited about this. And just, the winner gets a gift certificate from the Pasta Pantry, as well as a custom Pasta Pantry Athlete of the Week hat. So yeah, email me, jay@edmontonsportstalk.com or read at edmontonsportstalk.com. But, you wonder, because now I've gotten in contact with Carson. You wonder how many, if any of these players would end up in the pros,
right?
And have them on, several years later and say, you remember when, 6-7 years ago, you were on our show as the Athlete of the Week. That would be really cool.
Well, it would be. And we love doing that. We love featuring things in the community. I mean, of course, we talked a lot about Oilers and Elks, but there are other things going on and other people that deserve attention. And like he was looked at, a lot of schools were after him.
Yes.
So he's staying home, though, because he went to Sal. Was that your rival when you were a kid?
Yes.
Did you play them every year?
Yes.
Facey played Sal every year?
Yes.
And how'd you do against them?
0-3 in every year of football.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, they were better than us.
Which school is bigger? I don't even know.
I would imagine they're roughly the same size. If I had to guess, I would say Salisbury's bigger.
Okay.
In population, but they're pretty close. But
that's cool.
Sabres stink. Now my nieces and my nephews go there, and it's
Carson's fine.
He's fine
now that he's
out of the Sabres. I'm kidding.
It's great. I mean,
they've had a great program
but
over there.
Send us ideas. Now, again, just because you email us doesn't mean you're the athlete in your life will be on, because we're probably going to have more submissions than we do spots.
Yeah, they've been flying.
But it is a weekly segment, and we're going to try to tell as many stories as possible and feature. Again, most of them probably will turn out to be younger athletes. That's usually how these segments work. But if hey, like if your grandpa got 3 holes in one last week,
exactly.
That's what we want. How the hell does that happen?
Yeah.
We want to talk about that or whatever. So get in touch. Fill out the submission form on our website. Email jay@edmontonsportstalk.com. Read at edmontonsportstalk.com, which is presented by Play Alberta. Make your bets count for you and everyone else with the Play Alberta app, with hundreds of player prop bets on the biggest leagues: NFL, CFL, NHL, NBA, Major League Baseball, you name it. You're not just playing for fun, you're supporting your province. Play Alberta revenue helps fund Alberta programs and services. Deposit today with promo code YEG50 and get an exclusive $50 free bet to get started. I took advantage of a couple of those free bets. Why wouldn't you?
You did.
Well, you know what I used one of them on? I used them on the Oilers to win Game 5 of the Cup final. That did not go well. But it was a free bet. It was a free bet. Why not?
Could put it on Jay's Play of the Day.
So, yeah. So Odell Willis has stayed at Edmonton, right? And
yes,
he works with younger football players.
He's got an outfit. I believe it's called the Athletes Compound.
Right.
On the south side. It's an indoor training facility. I know that because it was literally next door to my furniture warehouse. So I'd run into Odell all the time.
Okay.
Yeah, we'd have great chats. It's a really cool facility, high-end players, high-end talent, but it's work.
And Sewell's with the Bears?
Sewell is the defensive D-line coach with the Bears.
But he has been with the Elks, wasn't he? Or was he a guest coach with the Elks?
He was with them last year,
He was with them, because, right. Yeah, he was a good player, too. And then he went to the Alouettes for the end of his career?
Yeah.
And Odell was BC, Winnipeg, and
Saskatchewan.
Here.
He played Saskatchewan.
Was he Saskatchewan as well?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Okay.
I thought.
Maybe he went to BC after Edmonton. But they were both on the 2015 Grey Cup team, weren't they? Odell was for sure.
Yes.
I think Sewell was as well.
The mayor of Swaggerville.
Yes. Well, wherever he went.
He was Calgary, Winnipeg, Saskatchewan, Edmonton, Ottawa, BC, Toronto. He pretty much played for every team.
Covered most of the league. Though I don't think Odell played as much for the Stamps. Wasn't it with Winnipeg he really blossomed? I feel like it was with Winnipeg he sort of started getting to be known a little bit more.
He played the longest with Edmonton. 2013 to 2017.
Right. Good player. But he was a D lineman, but he could get back into the secondary even and help tackle. He was pretty quick.
He was I loved watching Odell Willis play.
Yeah, he was good.
He was dominant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, 780-218-9999 is how you can text us. It's the afternoon inbox presented by River Cree Resort and Casino, home of Tap 25 restaurant, where the entire menu is 50% off 7 days a week from 2 to 5 p.m. We have the oil understood for GCL Diesel. We'll have our words of the day coming up before 5:30. At 5:30, we hand the reins over to Iwanyk and Milne for the Green and Gold kickoff show. 5 o'clock break, including the Coupe.
Two guys and a
One
goalie.
that stood out for me as well is, I'll just say, this pisses me off. Establishment of a full-time emergency backup goalie, or EBUG, position within organizations. And the reason it ticks me off is because I love the story. I love the story of the Golden Bear player coming up with the green and gold pads on and the green and gold helmet sitting on the
Two
bench.
guys and a goalie, presented by GS Construction. Tuesday and Thursday afternoons at noon, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Fridays just got a whole lot more fun. Spin the wheel at the banquet for your shot to win big and save on your bill. Spin, win, save. It's that easy. Details at thebanquetbar.com. The Banquet. Get real. Play hard.
You know Dawn. Everyone knows Dawn. Dawn from
Frontier Cartage. That's right, it's me, Dawn from Frontier Cartage, where we're setting the standard for cartage service in Edmonton and beyond, offering city cartage, Alberta highway, short haul deck, and more. My team and I are bringing our years of industry experience and expertise to every mile.
Join Dawn and her boys in a new chapter in transportation excellence, dedicated to exceptional service. Call Dawn at Frontier Cartage, 587-222-5826.
At Mind 360, we invite you to embark on your mental health journey in a safe and comfortable space. Conveniently located in St. Albert, Mind 360 has a diverse team of experienced clinicians that offer a broad range of tailored services for children, adults, and families. Furthermore, we are very proud to serve our military, veterans, and first responders. If you're looking for counseling, treatment, or assessment, understand that you are not alone. Contact Mind 360 at mind360.ca to book an appointment today.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know.
For the Elks, they're in action against the Bombers on the road. Edmonton 0-2 on the season. You can tune into the Green and Gold kickoff show. Iwanyk, J. Milne tee up the action live at 5:30 right here on EST. In the NHL, the Blue Jackets have acquired Brendan Gaunce from the Wild in exchange for Cameron Butler. Columbus making another trade, sending Daniel Tarasov to Florida in exchange for a fifth-rounder in tomorrow's draft. And according to ESPN's Shams Charania, the Timberwolves are sending the 31st overall pick to the Suns for the 32nd overall selection and two future second rounders. Round 2 of the draft starts at 6 o'clock. Raptors with one second rounder picking 39th overall. In baseball, 7 games wrapped up, 1 game live. Twins leading the Mariners 2-0 in the 5th inning, while the Braves and Mets are warming up. From Victoria, the Riverhawks challenge the Harbor Cats in their series closer. Edmonton losing 6-4 last night. Action starts at 7:35. I'm Zachary Kubish. That was your sports update. The third hour of the Reid Wilkins Show starts right now.
You gotta love the nasty chat. That's what we call the chat function going on YouTube. By the way, if you're on YouTube, give us a thumbs up. Jodes, who is a regular listener and poster. Jodes, I'm not trying to make fun of you. I just did not expect this to see in there. And maybe you meant to send this to somebody else, but we'll help you. Hey, does anyone know if the shoe swaps are by Crow's Nest Pass? I would say no.
They're very not.
Because
No.
the shoe shops would be what, in the Okanagan?
Yeah.
Well, they're both in Western Canada. They're both mountainy, right? But I would not say the shoe shops are by Crow's Nest Pass. Are they not more interior BC?
Yeah, they're further west.
Without even looking it up? Let's look it up right now.
You know what's by Crow's Nest Pass? Frank's Slide.
The Crow, yeah. Yeah, the shoe swaps would be...
Head smashed in Buffalo Jump.
The shoe swaps... Well, Shoe Shop Lake Provincial Park is a little bit northeast of Kamloops, right? Crow's Nest Pass would be... I mean, what would the drive be?
From what? Crow's Nest Pass to the shoe swaps?
Yeah, like 3 hours maybe?
Gosh, no, more than that.
So I wouldn't say it's by. Yeah.
That Crow's Nest Pass is quite meandering.
Joe says to get to the shoe swaps, you go through Crow's Nest.
You can.
Yeah, if you're coming from Calgary, Banff,
If
wouldn't
you're
you?
coming from the south way, yeah, you
Right.
can take
If you're
Crow's Nest Pass.
If you're coming from Edmonton, you would not.
No, you'd probably go through Banff. Banff, Golden, Revelstoke.
Or if you came down through Jasper that way,
Kamloops.
right? Right. Okay. Did we help? I don't know. Did we help anybody with their driving and geography? We don't know. We're going to try. If someone posts a question, we'll try. We'll do our best. Elks game coming up. They kick off in about an hour and a half in Winnipeg against the 2-0 Bombers. Elks are 0-2. What are we starting? Week 4 already in the CFL season?
Correct.
Week 4. What do we else got coming up? Dusty's doing Saturday's game as well. He's got tonight's game. He's got BC at Sask on Saturday. That could be a good game. Montreal at Hamilton is tomorrow, and Toronto at Ottawa is on Sunday. So Toronto's 0-3, Hamilton's 0-2. So the Elks, one of 3 teams without a win. We'll see if they can remedy that tonight. Time for the Oil Understood for GCL Diesel, providers of the best diesel engine components around. From turbochargers to injectors, fuel pumps to sensors, they are the critical engine component experts. Proud to serve Edmonton and Northern Alberta for over 50 years. Now a partner of Edmonton Sports Talk and the Reid Wilkins Show, GCL Diesel. Diesel. Understood. All right. Where do you want me to go with this, Jay? We got a few different things. I want to talk about this, actually.
Go.
The NHL and the NHL Players Association are looking for host cities for the 2028 World Cup of Hockey. So this is going to be played in February of 2028, so we'll interrupt the NHL season. It's going to be an 8-team tournament. And then so there'll be round-robin quarterfinal games in 2 host cities, semifinals and championship game in one of the 2 host cities. And this is what they have said. Cities across North America, Europe, and other international markets have been invited to submit an expression of interest by Friday, July 18th for North American cities, Wednesday, July 30th for international cities. So do you think that they're just leaving this like other international markets? So they're basically saying anywhere in the world can apply. Though they're kind of emphasizing North America and Europe.
Yeah, except countries at war.
So good point.
Yeah.
So it's like if Baghdad came up with the best.
I don't see Baghdad getting it.
Remember, are they leaving Beijing open because they had the Olympics there? I don't know. Would they even go to Europe with this?
No,
because it's
catered to a North
tournament.
American audience,
right?
Primarily Canadian. It should be somewhere in North America just for viewing purposes,
right?
So you're not bouncing, games at midnight, in across the world.
Yeah.
Now, has Edmonton stated that they are going to expect?
I asked somebody with OEG, just was like, is Edmonton going to apply? And I got no reply. I didn't even get a no comment. I didn't even get a go pee up a rope.
Pee up a rope?
Yes.
I don't know that I've heard that.
I think Edmonton should apply. If Connor McDavid signs a contract extension this summer, which we hope he will, I think you want to talk about that, then Connor McDavid's probably going to be on Team Canada. Wouldn't that be cool to have Canada play its games at Rogers Place? Rogers Place, now by then we'll be 13 years old, but we'll still be one of the newer arenas in the league, and it's still pretty darn good. I mean, people come to Rogers Place and are still impressed by it. The Ice District is, a district now with stuff going on around there. Now I know do I even need to look at the chat? February in Edmonton, Reid. Worst place in the universe. Oh, okay, maybe. But to go watch hockey, it's pretty cool. To go watch international hockey, it'd be pretty cool. In previous World Cups, they have had a European division. I think one year they used Helsinki and Stockholm. Would they make NHL players do that? Okay, okay. Whoever. Barkov, you're on Finland. You got to go over, play games in Paris, and then fly back, and then finish the tournament. The Four Nations face-off, slightly different tournament, was in Montreal and Boston. Is that what they're going to do? They're going to pick Edmonton and Seattle.
Yeah.
Or whoever.
I would imagine seeing something like that, where maybe the round robins played in Edmonton, then the knockout stage is played in another venue. I could see that. But what has Edmonton got? You said that they find it is the district. It is Ice District. They haven't gotten anything. Draft.
No, Edmonton
All-Star.
Well, we got
weekend.
the bubble. We got the bubble games in 2020.
Oh yeah,
the fans couldn't go.
Put that in your pipe and blow it. So what? But they haven't gotten anything on the big stage. They haven't had the chance to showcase Rogers, other than deep runs in the playoffs, right?
And stuff. Sure,
but that's not guaranteed. That's not something promoted or something that you can.
Well, here's one thing I would think Edmonton would have: guaranteed sellouts.
100%.
Or you'd probably be okay. So there'd be 2 pools of 4, so 6 games in each pool. If Canada's here, and then the semifinals and the final are here, there's your 9-game pack. Well, maybe there'd be a couple quarterfinals, whatever. You sell a 9-game package, or you sell. I mean, it would sell out, would it not?
Yes.
So I don't know if they would do a European division mid-season like that. Would they?
How has it been done in the past?
There was a European division, but the tournament was before the season, remember?
Yeah.
Well, the one year it was all in Toronto. What was it, 2004? There was a World Cup, and there was a European division. I don't know if they would do that mid-season. So are they going to do 2 NHL cities that are relatively close together, just like they did with the Four Nations face-off? I personally think Edmonton, Seattle would be great.
Yeah, I mean, it would be close.
I mean, Seattle's got a new arena. They've got the fan support. I mean, it seems like a fun NHL market now. Or would they give Vegas games? And here's what just happened with the Four Nations face-off. Where was the gold medal game, the championship game? In
Boston.
the States. Doesn't Canada get the next one for the World Cup?
I don't think anybody cares. Decision makers would care about giving Canada what they deserve. It's just about numbers and money.
Am I being too biased here towards Edmonton, suggesting that Edmonton should apply and should be a favorite to host games?
I would say it would be, using the word favorite might be a bit of a stretch. I don't know that they would be. I mean, if you could go to Toronto.
Okay, so what Canadian cities, if they applied, would give Edmonton the most competition? Just Montreal and Toronto?
Toronto.
Okay.
Montreal, probably not, because they just had the Four Nations face-off.
Or was that a tune-up? Was that show us what you can do?
No.
There's been a lot of international hockey in
I
Montreal.
doubt it. Toronto.
You think if Toronto wants it, Toronto gets it? Think it's that simple?
It could be. Yeah, I'd say Toronto.
I just think Edmonton's very appealing. Okay, so if you're worried about the weather, well, the players don't even have to go outside if they stay in the hotel. Okay, They're there to play hockey. Media wise, people got to travel to Edmonton anyway. Sometimes it's winter here. Sorry, and quite frankly, in February, it might not be that bad. You don't know. You don't know what it could be like in other cities. If that would be the reason for Edmonton not to get it, that would be lame.
Vancouver?
Maybe.
I think they should definitely try. That would be very cool.
Edmonton would have to submit. I mean, if this could be the big thing for that arena, that would be pretty cool.
Well, they deserve a big thing because they haven't gotten it yet.
Not from the NHL. They've not got a draft nor an all-star game.
Yeah.
Now, maybe that could still happen before this. We'll see. But anyway, I that just was on my radar today. NHLPA launching the host city selection process for the 2028 World Cup of Hockey. Part of the well understood for GCL Diesel. You have something?
Well, we talked about it. I talked about it with Maddie out there. What if Connor McDavid doesn't sign before next season? I know he doesn't have to. But the thought and the belief is that, like Leon Draisaitl did, sign the extension prior to the season.
Right.
What if Connor McDavid doesn't sign the extension prior to the season?
If Connor McDavid does not sign an extension prior to the season, this is going to be an incredibly angst-ridden fan base.
Yes.
A lot of hand-wringing. Now, you can still sign an extension at any time.
Sure.
But you're raising a very dark hypothetical question.
Well, you went there, bruh. You started the Debbie Downer stuff.
Yeah, I went there with... But people are used to me being a downer. They come to you for the uplifting part of the show.
I'm taking on your attributes. Sorry. I'm just asking. Because what's the
okay, you really want to go down this dark path.
Well, because he, by all accounts, needs to see that this group, Bowman and Jackson, are bringing in the right pieces.
Right.
He wants to win. I made that very clear. I think he also made it clear that if that's handled, this is the place he could be.
Right.
But what if it's not?
Okay, well, fine. If you want to go there, if Connor McDavid does not have an extension signed by the start of the season, then there'd have to be serious considerations about trading him before the deadline. Now, I guess this is how it would probably play out. If they can't reach a new contract with McDavid by September, whatever, then they'd probably have to say to his camp, are you willing to resume negotiations at this point, or are you willing to negotiate during the season? And if they kept getting no's from McDavid's camp or will C's, then you'd probably eventually have to ask the question of the agent or McDavid himself, saying, is it your desire to be with the Oilers long term? Or are we ceasing negotiations and focusing on trading you? That's probably what would have to happen. That would be a sad state. I don't think if he isn't signed, I don't think if he has an extension by the start of the season, he has to be traded before the start of the season. But I think you'd have to. I think you'd have to be very cautious about the possibility of losing a player of that caliber for nothing. But you're really taking us into the dark part of the forest. Like, hey, Jay, look, here's a nice cleared path to the Lollipop House. Now I want to go to the witch's cabin.
Come with me. No, look, do I think that's going to happen? No. I honestly think Connor McDavid will sign an extension prior to the season. Just was wondering what you think that would look like if he didn't. And yeah, I think you're right.
People would be very upset, very worried.
It would be very angst-filled.
We are coming to you from the Banquet Studio. Make your birthday epic at the Banquet Bar. Bowling, drinks, and a vibe you won't forget. Book your party now at thebanquetbar.com. We're done at 5:30, so we'll do a double word of the day then when we get back, and then the Green and Gold kickoff show at 5:30. Here's the Coop.
The Elks and Bombers going at it to kick off Week 4 CFL action. Edmonton 0-2, having Winnipeg undefeated through 2 games on the season. Catch the Green and Gold kickoff show. Matt Iwanyk, J. Milne break down the game live at 5:30 right here on EST. To the association, the NBA Draft Round 2 goes tonight. ESPN's Shams Charania reporting that Minnesota has sent the 31st overall pick to Phoenix in exchange for the 32nd overall selection and 2 future second-round picks. Toronto has 1 pick in the round, selecting 39th overall. And right now, in baseball, 2 games are underway. Twins leading 6-0 in the 6th inning, while over the Mariners, while the Angels and Mets are runless in the bottom of the 1st. For the Riverhawks, they have their series closer in Victoria battling the Harbor Cats. First pitch goes at 7:35. This sports update is brought to you by Windsor Plywood Leduc. Locally owned and operated since 93. They have doors, flooring, baseboards, and of course, they have plywood. Go see the knowledgeable staff today at Windsor Plywood Leduc. The words of the day is next here on the Reid Wilkins Show. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
The oil stream. Explain to me how the fiddlestick was Rantanen ever going to fit in the cap. Yes, they were willing to give the contract that Rantanen wanted. They contacted Carolina. Carolina's like, you don't have what we want. Yeah. It was dead on arrival. If you think talking to the player and saying, we'll give you the contract you want is a big push, then okay, fine. But the fact that you call the team that owns that player's rights and is willing to trade him says, thanks, but no.
You have nothing we want.
You went nowhere. Yeah.
The Oil Stream, presented by Boston Pizza. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday afternoons at noon. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Summer in Edmonton means three things: warm weather, long nights, and plenty of sports. From the lake to the links, you can boost your summer fun with hundreds of casino games, live betting on your favorite sports teams, and access to popular lotteries. All in one app, anywhere in the province. Download the Play Alberta app today and deposit $20 or more with promo code YAG50 to claim a $50 free bet. That's promo code YAG50 for a $50 free bet on us. Redeemable once per Play Alberta account. Remember, if you gamble, please use your game sense.
Strike up some fun at the Banquet Bar. Bowling, drinks, and a great time with friends where the good times roll. Whether you're here to bowl or just hang out, the Banquet Bar is your go-to spot. Get real, play hard at the Banquet.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
River Creek Resort and Casino on K97 proudly present Steve Earle and Reckless Kelly. Featuring small band and acoustic performances, Steve Earle and Reckless Kelly in the venue July 25th. Tickets at rivercreekresort.com.
River Creek Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it. Hosting the Big Canada Day Bash? Make room for the celebration with Sentinel Storage. From decluttering the garage, storing your seasonal gear, and keeping your treasure safe, we've got the space so you can enjoy the day and every day. Try 4 weeks free at sentinelstorage.ca.
Where's Coop finding these tunes today?
I feel like I should be breakdancing.
Yeah, well, my goodness.
Library, baby.
My goodness. All right, we're in the final 3 minutes of our show, Green and Gold Kickoff Show at the bottom of the hour. Let's do words of the day here, Mr. Milne.
This is like an
The word of the
anaconda
day.
taking me out. This is like an anaconda taking me out.
We got multiple Dave Jameson.
Say what again? I dare you.
Let's find out.
English, do you speak it? Then you know what I'm
Jay
saying.
Milne with the word of the day.
I think I hear him coming now.
All right. What do we have, my friend?
First word of the day, sobriquet.
Sobriquet. Sobriquet. And I can't remember what I know I've read this word, but I can't remember what it means, so I'd like this sentence, please. Do I get a sentence?
Yeah, I'm just trying to find the one that would be best. Her mother's sobriquet is Black Mamba, a snake that often counts mice among its prey.
That makes it sound like it's a spirit animal or something. It's
Over the years, a variety of sobriquets have been used to describe overweight ball players.
Oh, it's sort of like a comparison or a simile then. Okay.
A descriptive name or nickname.
Oh, okay. I should have known that.
Sobriquet.
Okay.
Second word of the day, sumptuous.
Sumptuous?
Sumptuous.
Sumptuous. And that is kind of like delicious and filling.
The celebratory meal was a sumptuous feast of dishes from our host's homeland. You're close, but it's
like an extravagant and variety-filled meal.
Yeah. Things that are very expensive, rich, luxurious, or magnificent.
So about 3/4. So
Yeah.
I spelled them both.
So that's
I spelled them both.
2.75.
2.75 out of 4.
Yep.
Not
I'll give you
bad.
that.
Well, we'll see what the Elks do tonight. Looking for their first win of the season against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Game starts in just over an hour. Reid Wilkins show done for today. Jason Milne, Matthew Iwanyk take over the stream at 5:30 for the Green and Gold kickoff show. Big thanks to the Coupe as well. Go Elks. I'll talk to you tomorrow at 3.